the other reason we are 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
All right, we're on WZAA 106.9 now as we speak, and we do apologize for the couple-minute delay, just because the fog is a little hard to get here this morning. We all made it though. Matt Estes, how you doing, buddy? Matt's from Louisville.
It was really, really
So
foggy.
you are now listening to the Morning Zoo. If you'd like to listen to the 50s through 80s
60s,
music,
yeah.
tune back in at 10 a.m.
Right.
Till then, you can listen to us talk
used to
about
like
That's right.
current events and everything else in between.
Travis
So-
O'Connor's watching.
Damn,
How you
I
doing,
used
Travis?
to like her, and then she said 80s, because 80s is now considered classic music.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Sigh.
mainly just 50s and 60s lately,
Lame,
but, you know.
They pant.
I'm just
they
trying to make
sigh.
it sound better so maybe more people will tune in.
I've heard a lot of 80s rock on that is now on the classics, and I'm wow. Shows my age.
Matt Estes out of Louisville. Charles normally late. No. I'm not normally. I'm usually early for stuff. It's like last night we got to do something very cool last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, me and the wife. We make these plans. A lot of times we just don't go because we're like old and tired. She's not old, but I'm old and tired, and but she's okay not to go too. But anyhow, we went last night. We actually went. Urbana had a free Christian concert last night, and it was, three pretty daggone good bands. The headline band was Seventh Day Slumber, and they were awesome. They were all the guy. I've seen him before, and the guy that is the lead singer, his name's Joseph Rojas, and you can look him up on Google, but this guy has actually died twice and has come back to life, and gives it up to God and his mom and why he's still here today. And he just always has such strong testimony, and his band's pretty daggone good too. They've been touring for like 20, 25 years.
Yeah, no, I've never seen them perform live or anything, but I have heard of them before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they tour the whole country. I mean, right now they're based out of Nashville, and he's got his own record label now that he's dealing with. There's our
other
our
cast
fifth guest.
member.
We're complete now.
Paisley.
Studio Paisley.
Paisley's in the
Studio
house,
Dog.
so she's ready
Studio
to go.
Dog P.
She's a cute dog. Look at her. It's like, come on,
We're not-
Mom.
Beautiful dog.
We're not
Pet
going to
me.
pay or anything,
Oh
so
my
forget it.
God.
Pet
She's
me.
our mascot.
Hey, you guys that are watching the show, we appreciate you getting up this early. But do us a favor, if you don't mind, hit that little share button down there and share it. All right, we'd appreciate that. Travis O'Connor, good morning, he says. Let's see, you've got the young lady to your left cut in half. I know. Well, I see you, though. I see you on my film. I see you right there. Look. See? We got you. That might help. That may do it right there.
Is that
But
a little better?
I see her on here. Rick's in half. No, he's not. Rick's not even in here right now.
I was like, Rick's not in the room, so we have a little bit of a delay. So.
Yeah. As long as you can hear us, that's the main thing. Well, we can't back the phone up too much because then you can't hear us very well. So that's why we're like that, I have no idea where your phone is,
Do you want
Rick.
me to call you? Probably in your pocket.
Ron
Is
Schittaker.
it
How you
plugged
doing,
in
Ron?
still?
But anyhow, this park was beautiful. It's Melvin Miller Park. It's in Urbana. And the other kind of interesting thing about it was a low-power radio station that put the concert on out of Bell Fountain. They had a bunch of sponsors and the low-power station, and it really worked out pretty cool.
So what is Bell Fountain most known for historically?
Well, this was at Urbana.
Here's our
I
historian.
was going to say Bell Fountain has got some really
It's a
killer
first.
skiing.
It's a first in the country. Do we know what it is?
No, we don't.
The first concrete highway was in Bell Fountain, Ohio.
Yeah, Rick, you're cut off. You need to sit closer to your wife.
Can you pretend
cut
like you
off?
like me, please?
Oh, okay. Can we sit on your lap?
No,
Am I allowed to sit on her lap?
no.
She's allowed to sit on your lap.
You gotta actually move into the picture.
All right. Okay.
There we go.
Close your legs. days.
We're a happy family.
No. What is it called? Man spreading or something?
You're man spreading.
Oh, okay. I'll put my leg across that. How's that?
It's funny.
It's not like I'm in the subway or
People
something.
on radio are like, what?
Besides, I can't see that there.
No, but it makes you lean more.
We see
to
you
one
now.
side.
Okay, all right. Can you
We're
see
doing
me
this
now?
on Facebook
Can you
Live.
see me
If
now?
you go to my Facebook Live, Charlie Hargrave, you can watch it there.
And then the replay will be on YouTube as well. On
Mark-
our
There is a
YouTube.
little delay, isn't there?
Mark Klingler is watching with us. How you doing, Mark?
Yes, there is a delay. It just depends on
Travis, he
the
says.
weather, I guess.
That's better.
Well, we are getting complaints that people can see us, so.
Talk to you later. Back to work, Travis is. He's at work.
So what's Travis doing now? Is he
Travis,
teaching?
yeah, he's got a full-time job at Washington Courthouse Schools as a, was that a little hint?
I don't know.
Washington
was that
Courthouse Schools as a.
I must not have got it.
He looks over their alternative school people. You know, the kids that they've thrown out of school. Pretty much, they go to him for like one last chance.
So it's like the troublemakers
Yeah,
class
and
or
he
something.
may have them 3 to 5 days, or he may have them all year. You know, so. But that's what he's doing, and I think he's interested in doing some games too. If you got any available.
Well, we're going to try to add some away games to the schedule, so it may involve some travel. The other thing that we're going to attempt to do, talk with Joe Holdren yesterday. We got a call from Jim Marsh, the AD over at East Clinton, and they open this Friday night. But we also have 2 other games that we're doing that are home games. So we do have another setup, and I thought maybe we'll get Joe up to date on how to work it, and he'll bring his camera, and then we'll send him to East Clinton, to do the East Clinton game. So that would be a first, 3 live streams at the same time. We've done 2, obviously. We did that last
I
week.
apologize. I can't see. I was East Clinton's announcer last year, but Miami Trace offered me their job, so I had to take that up. I'm doing their percussion section. But this Friday, I'm actually back to Chaz's DJ service. We got a cruise in down in Hillsboro at Classics Diner. All you can eat fish is Friday, 5 to 8. Come on down.
And, of course, they always have it on Friday when they talk about fish because of the old days with Catholics
Yes.
Right.
just eating fish on Fridays.
Fish on Friday. There's something.
My Jewish wife doesn't get that, but anyway.
Dolly Smith, how you doing? She's watching with us today. Like I said, guys, when you get on here today, if you don't mind hitting that share button, we do appreciate it. If you're wondering what you're going to watch today, basically we're just 4 people sitting around talking about local,
Just
national, and just different events, and trying to figure them all out on our own too.
4 guys in a truck.
I said 4
Although
people.
2 of us are women.
I didn't say 4 guys. I said 4 people.
No,
Yeah.
he did.
I know. 4
Well,
people
Yes,
sitting
you
around
must be
trying to figure out
politically
today's.
correct. Oh,
and
geez, this guy.
Yeah, that's
right?
me.
Yeah, that's nope. Never mind. As soon as I said it, nope.
you guys can feel free to throw in your comments on there. Roger Thornhill's watching. How you doing, Raj? Raj's got a big. He's got a couple big 4-wheel drive trucks that are just out of this world. They're
Does
really
he back
nice.
them in at Roosters?
Let's put it this way: he could probably trample roosters.
Have you
with
ever
his.
noticed that?
Yeah.
The roosters in here in Courthouse.
Courthouse, yeah.
Yeah, the big trucks always park. They back in. They park in the back row there.
because they're cool.
They think they are.
I haven't noticed.
You haven't noticed that? Oh, we're just kidding.
Mark Klingler is still in the hospital, but he's getting ready to come home shortly. So
well,
prayers for Mark
get
Klingler.
Better, Mark. Come on home.
Yeah, he had to do some testing yesterday. Testing, yes. So let's give us a little short. Now notice I said that 3 or 4 minute synopsis. Well, 3 or 4 minutes synopsis of the games last week. How'd everything go? Did everything work like a hitch? Or
Sydney had the
without a
crew
hitch?
over at Wilmington, and
Did you have Dean the Machine with you?
No.
no.
Oh,
We didn't run 2 cameras. We were afraid it was going to rain.
Also, they sprayed his apartment complex for bed bugs, and I didn't want him riding in the car.
that's a good reason.
I'm just being honest.
That's a good reason. Poor Dean.
Yeah.
Who are we speaking?
Dean to me.
Dean's our top-notch
He runs
cameraman.
camera for
He
the-
does a good job.
Oh,
Yeah.
Usually he's way the hell on the field by himself. Though.
Well, he likes being down with the cheerleaders. But anyway, I don't even
Oh,
know
I'm
if
sure they don't want bed bugs either.
no. Well, and we're
Stop
not
talking about bed
we're
bugs.
we're not saying that Dean has bed
It's
bugs.
this complex guy.
It's the complex.
Yeah, got
and
it.
they were spraying, and he was all upset because his ex was taking care of his dog while they were spraying.
No, we're not talking about Dean, are we?
Yeah,
Oh,
and his
man.
ex wouldn't give the dog back.
So he got hospitalized.
That's been months ago.
No,
though.
this was just apparently just
no,
recently.
No, the dog has
he
been
told
gone
us
for
that
months.
that just happened.
Yeah, well,
The
anyway.
dog has been gone.
So
for
we weren't
months.
taking any chances, if
With
the
anxiety attacks, bed bugs.
having to worry about whether there was.
She did have a meltdown last
Yeah,
week. Yeah.
so
Well, Dean, he's a fragile individual, so sometimes he over worries. But
Ray Maddock, office modeling to be was watching us.
so our game of the two games probably was the most exciting at Massey. That was the Alter Knights and the Clinton Massey Falcons. And Clinton Massey had jumped out to a big lead the first half. And then Alter at halftime adjusted and came back and took the lead. And there were about, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game. Massey was down. Alter was driving into Massey territory. They fumbled the ball. Massey recovered, and subsequently they made some great plays to get it back down the field and score. And they went up by 3 points. And then in like the last, 60 seconds or 40 seconds in the game, they got another fumble and scored a second time. So they ended up
Wow.
winning by 10 after, it was apparent that everybody was sort of, chucking it in there in the last 2 minutes, 40 seconds, thinking that they were going to lose. And obviously, and Alter is no slouch when it comes to, they've got some D1 potential talent on their team. And then, Sydney, you were at Wilmington, so that was pretty much we're not going to say it's a blowout, but 21
it was
to
a
nothing.
blowout, 21 to nothing.
Yeah.
And our broadcasters were Tonio Mancuso, who's on the Sports Planet.
How was Tony? Did he do a good
He
job?
did a great job, and his good friend Jeff, who's also been a state champion coach and player.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Jeff,
So-
he was the quarterback of the West Jefferson
Broncos.
Yeah, their state championship team. He was the
Oh,
quarterback.
neat. Okay.
Yeah, and he went to. I keep trying to remember which of the OAC schools that he went to, but no. It's
Oh, OAC school?
yeah. Starts with an M.
Starts with an M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No, not Marietta.
Marietta.
No, we still confused. That's the one. Yeah, it's not. But anyway,
I can't think of the name.
he has a very good resume when it comes to
I can't think of the name right now.
yeah, Muskegon. Yeah.
Oh, Muskegon.
Yeah, they're not near Pennsylvania, but anyway.
For some reason, he keeps
Okay.
telling me it's near Pennsylvania every time I think of the name.
Well,
So-
I got Marietta in my head, which is on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border,
Right.
and every time I think
Okay,
about it,
so-
I keep saying Marietta or thinking
Which is
Marietta.
wrong. Okay.
That's right, which is wrong. So, but anyway,
So good.
good
Everything
broadcasting.
went well then.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do you guys have this weekend? Or this Friday? I'm
Good
sorry.
question.
I've got
What? Really?
Wilmington home game with Batavia,
Right,
and he's got Massey and
Goshen. right.
At Massey.
They're both home games, right? Uh-huh. Actually, Massey, their first 3 games are at home. Wilmington goes on the road, I think, to New Richmond. Third game of the,
See,
of the
Wilmington
season.
was actually supposed to play Miami Trace this Friday, but that got
Yeah,
changed.
and for the most part, I think most of the teams, when they only went to a 6-game schedule, were going to play the 6 teams that were in their conference. But the Alter game was available, which I think Matt Baker, who was our announcer, who is the superintendent of Clinton Massey Schools, he had said that it was like a game. I don't know what it would be in the playoffs, but a game 12 or 13 in game 1, because it was actually like a playoff
Right.
game. And it was a fantastic game. We were fortunate to do a game a couple years back where Bishop Hartley played Massey, and Massey won by 3 points at the very end. And we had the same broadcast crew, Matt Baker, and so we had 2 cameras that were operating over at Massey because the weather broke, and I was there, and it was easier for me to set the camera up. Sydney hasn't. I haven't taught her yet. The fineries of setting everything up, but
And you didn't have Dean.
and we did have Massey supplied our camera people, so that and they were both
Zach
very good.
did camera, the young man who came in
It was
last
on the,
week.
that was on the morning show this past
did the
week.
main
Did a great
camera.
job, and he was
Was it over here? Then over there?
No,
then
no.
over here?
He did a great-
Then over here?
he did a great job, and he
I was on a 72-hour water detox
he was
during this.
he was toned
So I was
down.
only drinking water for 72 hours.
Yeah, we didn't normally.
My mood was like a whole nother mood.
I'll bet.
Normally, both
bet.
both
My
press
mood.
boxes have some decent food.
Mood.
Because we get fed at halftime. But
East Clinton don't expect that, Joe.
no,
Just
no.
telling you, East Clinton, they don't give you anything.
but Massey did not have any food.
Really?
And
Massey's always had a good football team, I
our
think.
of course there were several restaurants in the area that were streaming both our broadcast live on their TV screens.
So
B
as of
Dubs
right
Roosters.
now, we've gotten about 13,000 views between the two
Awesome.
games. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
That's really
it's been a
good.
big hit. And that's views on devices. That's not eyes. For instance,
Right.
you might
could
have
had the game on in
Right.
your
six
living
people
room and
watching.
had
Yeah, that's
several
six
people
sets of
watching.
eyes and
So we need to get this morning show then, a new sets of eyes.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. The whole idea is as of course, Campus Nation is sort of a sister network to WZAA. So we don't share the same viewers on both necessarily, but
There's a lot of that go back. and
some
forth.
crossover. Yeah. But
Tina Cordy is watching. How you doing, Tina?
anyway, this Friday, may not be quite as eventful as the last game last week. But if it's a close game, Goshen usually the last few years Goshen has had a pretty decent football
And they're
team.
playing Massey.
And they're playing Massey.
Who's Wilmington got again?
Batavia.
Yeah, Batavia's not very good usually.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that everyone is in the playoffs this year just simply because of the corona and the way that everything is
If
set up.
they want
wanna
to be.
Yeah.
You keep saying that. That's not entirely correct.
Yeah, well, the everybody is eligible for the playoffs. Maybe that's what I
If they
should say.
want to be, yeah.
Right, and it just depends if your team is not, the greatest of teams, and you want to just play some extra games. If you can find, and schedule those teams.
Well,
because-
and you can also go lose your first playoff game and come back and play a couple
and still
more.
play a couple more games, so you can play a total of 10 games no matter what.
Yeah.
And
Play-
at this point, the Ohio High School Athletic Association has not decided whether we can live stream the playoffs. But if
So
they're
if
available,
can,
we will.
We're going
will.
to.
Yeah,
So
They'll have
that's
to.
the
I'm
plan.
thinking so. If the stadiums are going to
So-
be,
I was going
If
to
we're
how
allowed,
many were they on for
we'll
fans?
definitely do that.
Were there a limited number of
There
people
were-
watching?
They try to have
They were allowed to
15%.
have like
Two
15
tickets.
to 20%
Yeah, that's
capacity.
it.
I think it depended on the stadium, like
Right.
how they could distance the people,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
how
Fi-
many people they were allowed to have in the stadium.
15% is
So
the number they're after. So each kid that's involved, cheerleaders, band members,
like 2 tickets.
trainers, they get 2 tickets. They have some tickets, I'm sure, for faculty and staff. And then whatever's left, they can make available to the public.
or if you're like Travis O'Connor, you're trying to scam some
But he did
tickets
get
or
a
something.
ticket. He came
Did
to the Miami Trace game, then didn't come say hello to me. What the heck?
Travis loves his football, and he was probably
But then they
jonesing for
have
some
to
football.
account, like they did have lists for people that were working the game. For example, we were on the list, because they have to account for every single person that's going to be there.
Right.
Or
Were
they're
there a bunch of
supposed to
masks?
anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Were they
you were
wearing
supposed to be
masks or
wearing
no?
masks.
Well,
I mean,
some were in the stands. I think
I
most
think
were in the stands.
I think that it's sort of like the number of people that wear masks and don't wear masks
I
at
think
Walmart.
you were asked to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you had a health issue and you said that or whatever.
They didn't
that
force anyone.
weren't
They didn't go
going to,
around-
like kick you out.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I don't think they could
They
really.
were not
technically
enforcing
ask.
masks.
Jason
Gotcha.
Stoops is watching, and Jason, I tried to get him to come on today. Would really like to get Jason on because Jason has some opinions about Wilmington, and it would be fun to have him on. I think Jason even
You mean
kinda-
Wilmington, the city, or Wilmington?
Yeah, Wilmington,
Okay.
the city,
Uh-huh.
and he's kicked around the idea of running for mayor. I think.
Oh, okay.
So
well, that would be nice to have him on.
I don't know that he's serious about that, but it would be neat to get him on here because he has. I like him. I don't necessarily always agree with him, but I like people that have a little bit of a different viewpoint than the normal people. I mean, and a lot of his viewpoints, especially like on the homeless in Wilmington, make perfect sense. And it's I'd really like to just get him on because he's had some experiences too dealing with people one-on-one over there since he lives over there. And that's
You mean over where?
Wilmington.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
he lives in Wilmington proper.
Oh, by the way,
also.
we went to Gordon's in Wilmington.
Did you get anything?
Oh, yeah.
I got a 30-cent shirt. I
Yeah.
got $4 shoes. I got a pair of jeans for $1.30.
It's cleaned up.
Got him some basketball shorts.
She got me.
He got a
She
shirt.
She got me. She
that
got her, but she got me.
He picked out with
didn't
flamingos
get
on it.
anything.
It was way too small for his broad shoulders.
Yeah. It's
Black shirt.
actually
So,
hanging out there. Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
It's a nice shirt.
I mean,
but
they have
I don't know
nice,
why he thought
nice
his broad
clothes.
shoulders would fit in that shirt.
Yeah.
Sell that in
You
your
can't
yard
try
sale.
them on. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, that's what we figured. You can't try,
But it
you know,
was
anything
cheap,
on.
so,
So,
it's
anyway.
not lost.
Well, what is this weekend?
You mean,
What
what's
is
the
this?
special?
Yeah, what's special about this coming weekend?
Is it Labor Day weekend?
It's Labor Day weekend already.
Does it really matter?
It doesn't. It's
I
hard
was
to
gonna
believe
say it's
that.
like
Yeah. I mean,
It's hard to believe
we do
that
know
Labor Day has
fall.
come up
Fall is
afterwards.
around the corner,
Fall,
and
yeah,
you can tell it in the air. I mean,
sure
you,
can.
when you
yeah,
live
it's
in
definitely
Ohio,
chilly
it's
here.
chilly. You
so
can smell it.
it's not like
you know,
humidity's gone.
yeah,
It's
when you
good.
live in
Yeah.
Ohio, this is the time of the year when I think most
Fall's my
people,
favorite.
if you look at the four seasons in Ohio, most people in Ohio like fall, probably best of all.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Nick
the
Babb's
Christmas.
watching.
Yeah,
we
the-
have a real fall here.
Yeah.
It's not like you can tell it's fall.
Yeah. We also
to see
are
the
supposed to
leaves.
have a real winter. Now, last year they said the winter was supposed to be harsh. This year they say the winter is really going to be harsh. So
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
wasn't bad.
now,
last
not
year.
in this
say, it
area.
was not
well,
bad.
I looked at the almanac for the
You and the dang
the Ohio
almanacs.
for Southwest Ohio. Now, you know the northern part of Ohio is going to have some severe weather from what they're saying, but the East Coast is really going to get blasted. So, too bad for them.
Maybe
Couldn't
they'll-
happen to a
maybe-
better part of the country.
Maybe they'll
Oh
quit
my
protesting.
Well, Charlie,
Well,
you've
they're
got
gonna have to
relatives
burn
up that
more
way, don't you?
things to keep themselves warm.
Yeah, up around Syracuse, there, up there.
Look, there's a peaceful protest going on behind us. It's a little fiery,
They just
to say the least.
they're just burning that building to stay warm.
When they shot, did you see in Portland? They shot that guy point blank.
Well,
Gosh, darn.
you're talking about the Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I've been saying it. People laugh at me, but by the end of 2022, we're going to be in civil war.
so
I'm telling you.
What do you think
It's
about
coming.
that kid
anything
over
is
the
possible.
weekend that shot those folks in the Kenosha?
Tell everybody about that, because and mainly I want you to tell
Well,
everybody
the
about
one guy
that.
grabbed the barrel of the gun, so he kind of shot himself.
I've read a lot of different things because I haven't seen actual footage of. I've only read articles about it, and supposedly this kid they're trying to get him for murder.
Well, he was only
intentional.
17. Is that
He's
right?
only
So I
17.
mean, he's
So
not
he technically
legally.
wasn't
He
allowed to have the gun
He
Right.
wasn't
because he
allowed to have
wasn't
the
a
gun.
legal adult.
But
Yes,
no one has
right.
no one has done any tracing. At least they've not said anything. Where did he get the gun? Who supplied the gun to him?
Oh, that
It
Because
could
a lot
have
of
been
Yeah.
a parent's
I
or
suspect
someone
it
else's
was.
that he stole. You know, obviously he got it from somewhere
Yes.
and illegally because he wasn't legal age
Yeah,
to have
the
a gun.
to
So
have
first
the
and
obviously
foremost-
he illegally had the gun in the
Yeah.
first
And
place.
I think it was a little bit strange because, see, to me, I feel like he went on a mission because he lived in Illinois and he went to Wisconsin with this gun to do something. He had to
So,
level some
first of
intent.
all, we know he illegally had the firearm. He
Right.
got it from somewhere.
Okay, well, give everybody like let's say like me. I don't know a whole lot about it, so tell me the whole story.
And as far as what I've
Don't be it bit and pieces. Start from the beginning.
well, like I said, I haven't. He was walking down the street, and I guess he had this gun out in the open, and people didn't notice, or the cops they weren't even paying attention, or whatever. And he said that people were coming
Chasing
at
him.
him and chasing him.
Yeah.
So he was running, and he fell down to the ground. And as he ran, it's almost like what you'd see in a movie. He rolled over and had the gun, and he blasted two people that was coming at him. And I believe a third person was shot and injured at the hospital.
And then there was something about one of the people that he shot was a pedophile.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that he had been
Yes.
prosecuted. But
What
there was
I
also
had
some
heard
pictures
is
that showed
that-
him punching a lady prior to all that happening.
And haven't
So I
seen
didn't
that.
hear anything about that, but I heard what Kim had heard is that people were running at him, but when he was on the ground, that the first person, because we were listening to, I believe it was a Hannity show, that there was an eyewitness, and he was telling his recount of the story, and he actually was an EMT who was at the scene, and that there was the person running at him grabbed the barrel of the gun when he was on the ground, and so he fired
I think that
in
was the guy.
self-defense.
That was the guy.
Point blank one,
That was the
right?
and that was
pedophile
the
that got
point
shot in
blank
the arm.
person who got shot first, and the EMT person ran over to check on him,
Right.
who was on the ground, and then that's when the other firing ended up happening.
Sarah
So-
Catherine's watching. How you doing,
They
Sarah?
arrested him.
Sarah Catherine.
And he has
$6.6
an
million
alleged
bond.
murder for now.
He's being represented by the same attorney that represented Nicholas Sandman, who was the MAGA hat
yeah,
wearer.
the MAGA hat kid.
So what does that tell you? First of all, if he took the case, he obviously knows a lot more than we do and
Right.
has some idea that this is going to be a
that
big payout.
maybe- So apparently the three people, one of them was a pedophile, one's been charged with domestic violence in the past, and the other one's been charged with armed robbery.
Just your basic, protest.
Well,
those
but
are
wait a
those
minute,
are all
these
your
all
people
have
that go to the
criminal
protest.
records.
This guy wasn't protesting it. This
No,
guy
but
was.
I feel he went hunting because he brought this gun to his show.
He
brought the gun
he
to the
was
show.
supposedly going to protect. I think he said
was a big police
monument.
supporter,
A
and
monument. He
his-
was going to protect the police.
His
I
Facebook
think
cover
this
was
kid
Blue Lives
was
Matter.
one of these people that have mental health issues that his
That's
parents
most
should
kids.
be like been watching or flagged or like Baker acted him
He's a
because
huge
he
Trump
obviously had
supporter.
some issues,
But that's probably 90% of the cases of
I
any of
think
the stuff
Trump,
that happens
Trump
like this.
said that. I think Trump's kind of on board with the kid.
That's what I.
That's what I've been gathering from
yeah,
the media.
Yeah, the information that I think
Well, you
Donald
can't
Trump.
trust the media.
Well, no, on both sides.
Yeah, but the president probably gets a little more
You can pick out a few
information.
little things of truth, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can't just cherry pick what we like and what we don't like, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
either
I just
side.
mean shreds of truth. That's all I mean. Because every whichever.
Trump's going to Kenosha, Wisconsin today, right?
Yeah,
I tell
he's
you
been
what,
asked not to go by the governor,
I don't like that idea
Yeah.
either.
and they
I don't like that idea.
they
You think they setting him up, maybe?
Well, I just don't trust people.
That's what I mean, you know.
When I was a little kid, I remember, Reagan getting shot. I
do.
remember Ford, people trying to shoot Ford. And, to my knowledge, ever since then, we never really have had anybody shot it. But that seemed like almost a regular practice almost back in the day,
That
you know.
was.
Somebody was
Abraham
going to take,
Lincoln.
well, but I mean, somebody was going to take a shot.
John
you
Kennedy.
know.
That's the
Kennedy.
big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing all day yesterday. About Kennedy. It was wonderful.
Fifth grade. I was
All
in
day.
fifth grade.
But you understand what I'm saying. I mean, and I thought for sure somebody'd take a shot, but Obama.
So did I.
I just and,
honest to
Well,
God,
and
I think-
I'm surprised somebody hasn't taken a shot at Trump.
I
just
think that
because
it's-
people are crazy.
people are getting and more radical.
Yeah, but
as
they've
time
stepped.
goes on.
I think they've stepped up presidential security over the years for that very reason.
And
for the
technology
shootings.
has obviously advanced a lot
Yeah.
since back
Yeah.
when presidents were more commonly shot.
And they
to
follow.
now.
They follow these potential shooters. They listen.
You
know.
can track people a lot better than you could track.
Yeah, you can
people
just
Oh
then.
my!
just talk to Facebook. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, no
oh,
doubt.
absolutely, no doubt.
And it was pretty funny. A guy put on a Facebook the other day, and Brad Bear's his name, and he's exactly right. They put list your favorite, yada yada, list your favorite, and you go through this list, and his answer, if you read it down, was quit giving your password away.
Yeah.
Because basically he's right. You give them all this favorite stuff, you're giving everybody a shot at what your password may be. So it makes a lot of sense on these, because we all have played those, where you answer certain questions and.
See, I don't do that.
Those little fun quizzes or whatever.
Yeah.
They're fun. I like to see
I don't.
that.
I don't get involved in any of that. It's enough I can stand just being on Facebook. But for me, the big problem is Facebook represents more of a business situation than it does actually.
He
a
only
personal.
likes to argue with people about politics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't argue with people. I
Me
just have a
too.
discussion with people. Yeah.
That's about the only thing I'll get on the band.
And really, I've not been doing that recently. I will.
Only on Clinton County
I've not been.
Exposed.
I used to share everything.
Do you
So if I.
not love that page?
He does.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't.
the people
You
are
don't.
so, the people
I
on
don't
that
go on
they're
there
so
because
crazy.
most of the people
I
are
know.
They're
there.
absolutely so nuts,
Him
and
and Moss,
they're always
best friends.
Yeah. Now, Charlie, that was the other thing. This Moss guy that I keep talking about. The only common friend that I have with
Is
this
you.
Moss guy is you. So it would be
What's
interesting
his
for
last
you.
name?
Moss.
It'd be interesting for you to go on Facebook and find out if you've got any common friends with this Moss guy.
Well, we can do
Like
that
tree
afterwards.
moss.
Yeah, tree moss. He acts like he's a meteorologist and he's a CDC specialist, and he's some kind of a material handler that lives over in Indiana. Very liberal, you can tell.
Bob Waters is watching. Steve Haynes is watching. And Jared Friend says technology is making people lazy. Look at
Ain't that
gas.
the truth?
Look at gas for truckers.
GPS.
Oh, GPS. I was going to say gas.
Yeah, GPS.
Well, truckers have gas all the time.
GPS for truckers.
Except food
no
they eat.
map users
Yeah.
anymore. That's true.
I
That's
love
true.
using a map. That we all depend on GPS. It's
Well, we all depend on technology. What will we do?
Indeed.
You know, what do you do when the electricity goes off for an hour or 2 hours or even 10 minutes? You know, you panic. It's like
Light an oil
you
lamp
Have,
and
you have
just-
no electricity, no lights. You have no internet. You have.
I
Oh,
don't
I
care
have-
because guess what I got? Guess what this boy's got?
a generator.
I got me a little generator.
Of course you do.
And so what is
I don't
that?
care.
What is it generated? Enough power to what?
Oh, I
Probably the fridge
can
and-
keep the fridge and turn TV on, a couple lights. I'm good.
So how long would that last?
As long as you keep gasoline in
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
gas
just keep running it.
powered. Yeah, so it'll last. One tank will last when I DJ with it about 4 hours.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So man, I love it. I tell you what, if you're going to buy a generator, buy Honda generators because they're a little more expensive, but man, they are so quiet.
Quiet.
Oh my
Yeah.
Jared,
What?
when the power goes out, the babies get made.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Patty Moore.
How's that
Gilliam's
work,
watching.
Jared?
Wayne Turner. how you
Explain
doing?
to me, please. Oh, Sydney.
Oh,
Sydney, we're going to have to fire Sydney. You see what time it is?
Oh, yep. There you go.
You just have to.
All right. Anyway, you're listening to WZAA 106.9 LPFM in
live?
Jeffersonville, Ohio. Kim, are you okay?
So we. we at least we got legally under the wire 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after.
Her
I
boy,
thought you were going to fire me because I can't have kids.
no.
I was like,
Kim's
that's
all-
kind of an awkward. I think that's discrimination.
That's right.
I don't think
I've
you
got
can
enough
fire
for
me
both of us,
that.
sweetie.
Kim's getting all choked up because her boyfriend just mentioned having kids.
No, no.
Pretty sure there's
I was
88
thinking about
compliance
the
laws
action.
about that.
How the babies are made.
How they're made?
Yes.
Well, the stork brings them.
right. Right.
Now we can't talk about this, at 9 o'clock because it's the.
Okay, stop saying that. There's lawsuits everywhere about that right now. Like,
Patty Moore, how you doing? Patty had a nice, successful show down in Highland here a couple weeks ago. I don't have any car shows this weekend. I have to DJ a wedding this Saturday, which will be fun.
So do you prefer the weddings to your car shows?
I make more money at weddings, but I like car shows better. It's just so much less stressful. Which we got several of those this week. If the weather holds out, tonight we're at Blanchester again. And it was crazy last week at Blanchester. I think I told you guys this last week because we were on Wednesday. But, it's like storming in Sabina. Semis turned over.
Yeah.
Shingles off
Great big old
houses.
trees were splitting up.
And I get down to Blanchester a mile before I get into Bland. This rain and wind and hail and all that stuff is following me all the way down there. A mile outside Blanchester, nothing. I mean,
The
it's
sky's
just-
part.
Yeah,
The sun comes out.
when I get into Chubby's, there's like 30 old cars there already. It was nuts. And then Wednesday we'll be back out at the VFW. And then Thursday, we're going to be at Generations. And I've already said Friday, we're going to be over at Classics Diner. So we got a busy week
Busy week.
of cruise-ins this week. But I don't have any car shows. Next car show I have is South Lebanon. That's next Saturday, September 12th. That's a good one. Now, George Rogers, or not George, but it's just Rogers Park. Rogers Park in South Lebanon. So, good time there.
Yeah. We're going to a biker party this weekend.
Where's that at?
Indiana, at an undisclosed
Oh,
location.
Indiana. Undisclosed location.
Can't disclose it, huh?
Just make sure you take bail money. Sandy Mitchell, how you doing? But anyhow, we were talking about a little bit of Kenosha, Wisconsin stuff there, which, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. But I'm going to tell you, the world right now is just stark
Topsy-turvy.
You think that kid's going to get some supporters? and add to it. They did a GoFundMe page for his legal expenses or whatever. I think within minutes, GoFundMe kicked it right back off because I had all kinds of donations.
Yeah, well,
and they kicked it right back.
And
off.
that's the unfortunate thing about it.
Why would they kick that off?
Well,
I would assume that the. Well, what do you see? Everybody calls it a liberal agenda or a Democrat. See, I am a liberal and a Democrat, but I don't agree with any of the stuff going on.
yeah. So what's happening here? You're getting closer to my side of the couch.
No,
Of
the
common
point
sense.
is they consider him a conservative, so GoFundMe won't allow it.
Yeah,
but they'll
yeah.
allow
He was there.
stuff
He was
for-
there to protect the
That
police. He was there.
shouldn't make any difference.
But it does.
But
it's the same
to
thing.
GoFundMe,
Yeah.
they're
And he
one
was
of
all
those
about
liberal
the
sites,
Blue Lives
so they
Matter,
won't
It's a-
allow
it's-
it.
and he was on 2 different political support
Right.
neighborhood patrol. He's like very cop-like.
So-
So in other words, if I wanted to put a GoFundMe out for me, they would probably say no. because
Well,
I've
it depends, once
I've
again.
posted-
No, I would think it would be the position
Well,
of
it
why you
doesn't-
want the money. Does that make sense?
Well, it probably wouldn't matter because it's not. No offense, Charlie. You're not like some well-known
Well,
celebrity.
this kid wasn't either.
Yes, he's like national news.
Well, I mean, when you
Everybody
shoot-
knew about
He is
him.
When you shoot
now.
them, right? Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
thing. The thing is,
If it would have been before
they're going to remember
anybody
Kyle
knew who he
Rittenhouse
was,
forever. I mean, that's just going to.
if nobody knew who he was, then it probably wouldn't have mattered.
most of these liberal businesses, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or GoFundMe, these liberal businesses,
They silence and shadow ban conservative
right?
voices.
So
I agree with
if,
that.
whether you're
People.
trying to raise money or you're trying to do a political ad or
Create
you're trying
awareness
to make
or
a
whatever.
political statement, they're going to shut you down, and it's going to get worse. I don't know if you got the message from Facebook, but Facebook sent out a message to all its.
They're changing their terms.
The terms of service are changing as of what is it, next month?
I think so.
Month of October, I guess, and they specifically detailed the fact that they can take anything you post off if they find it to be offensive or
And who determines what's offensive?
Facebook does, of course.
Exactly.
It's the same thing
Yeah.
with fact checkers. You know, the
So
fact
they're just
checkers that
letting
they
you know
get,
now
they've got
that
to.
anything they determine is wrong or offensive.
It goes against.
They'll
Whatever
pull it.
they decide, they're just going to delete it.
So if you support Donald Trump and it gets closer to the election,
Bye-bye.
they can
They're
pull
just going
that.
to delete
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to give you a reason for doing so.
No, but you are using their platform. It's free to you, and you agree to their terms
terms
when
and
you
use-
use the
You've
platform.
agreed to the terms.
The difference,
so
though, is they're getting very close because they've already been sued numerous times. They're getting very close to being declared, I guess you could say, a publishing company, a news organization,
Right.
because of the things that they've done over the years to change their platform.
But
And
they're
when that
giving you
happens,
notice of it.
when that happens, the government will have more control. They can exert more control over how Facebook operates. Same thing with
Because
Twitter.
the FCC.
Because of the it's not the FCC. I don't know whether it's the Commerce Department or but basically you fall under a different category, and where you were protected by Congress in the past, they won't be. And when that happens, you'll see they'll do an about face because it'll affect their bottom line big time.
Jared said he can hear everybody fine but Kimmy. And then he goes, oh, no, I know why. It's because Rick hadn't got her riled up yet.
He sounds like he's wanting me to.
That's what it sounds like to me.
The sad thing
Not
is
enough
that
action.
Rick and I actually agree on quite a few
Yeah,
things,
I know,
right?
it's
we
getting-
might
it's
have to
getting
start
scary.
changing positions on the couch.
I'm not.
Because I may have to
that
move
sounded
farther
bad.
to the
Well, that's true. No, seriously.
I didn't say that.
No,
Change positions
I-
on the couch. What's the matter with you?
I have noticed that, Charlie, you're right. Charlie has gotten a little bit more,
I'm going a little farther left.
yeah.
and Kim is coming a little bit farther right. So we may
Well,
have to
if-
change
if
the
it just-
position.
If anybody could just look at this, I mean, with an unbiased eye, they would be on what we say, I think, because it's common sense about a lot of this, the
Yeah.
protesting and all of it. It's
Well,
just-
and that's
they're
what-
protesting the wrong things, for one thing, right now.
That's what makes this show kind of
that's what's
unique.
gonna divide the country,
'Cause
though.
I can see things from both sides
can
most
I.
of the time, and we need more people like us actually in the Congress and the Senate. People that are willing
Well,
to
these people that can talk.
work both sides of an issue and not be influenced by big money.
That's
That's
the
the-
bottom
Well, we definitely don't
line
have big
right
money
there.
influencing us here.
all the PAC money.
Well, that's the problem is they
Paisley.
feed these people too
Go
much
lay down.
money, and then they and they get so much money from all these outside places as well that they have all of this, outside influence, that they're no longer concerned about the good of the people. They're just concerned about who's going to pay me more
Yep.
to do whatever they want.
Yep. On Jared, he goes, "Go, Rick, go." That's what he said. So,
Well, I think your boyfriend and I tend to be
think so.
closer to the same views. Of course,
I
he's
agree.
he's been a
Jared Friend
trucker.
says every one of us would take that bribe from big money. I don't think so.
No way.
No, because to be honest with you, I think a
would.
lot
I
of
would.
that.
I know you
A
would.
lot
I was
of
going
that
to say Rick
PAC
would.
stuff should
I'm going
go.
to say that right now.
A lot of political action committee stuff should just go. I mean,
Yes.
Well,
I don't-
lobbyists. I think we should do away with the. See,
I disagree.
originally lobbyists were representing companies. Now you say, well, companies shouldn't be represented. Companies
Company or an
legally,
entity?
They are. They're
They are. Mm-hmm.
legally an entity, and you've got to remember that most companies have shareholders, and the shareholders are you and me.
Mm-hmm.
They're the average. Well, I'm not going to say the average guy, but we don't go out and necessarily buy stock and talk to a stockbroker, but we are in unions or we are in associations. They all invest in these companies. So, you can't just, expect, well, we're going to do away with these big bad companies, because you literally, there's your retirement, your 401ks, your investments.
That's fine. You can have you can have the PACs, but you limit what they can donate.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you have to really enforce that, because that's the problem. The problem right now is that so much of it, the dark money, the money that was funded to
Look at the householder.
well, look at Mike
look
DeWine
at
and
Cliff-
Alice DeWine, his daughter, when
Cliff
she ran.
Rosenberger, he got in some trouble.
They
over
put
that.
almost $1 million into a county prosecutor's, in Greene County. Alice DeWine had money coming in from all over the country for a county prosecutor's position. Now, that's and Mike DeWine is about as crooked as any governor can be, and it's all going to come out eventually.
I told you he ought to resign. Is what he ought to do.
How about this? Where they're trying to get rid of him? Has that got any legs yet?
Oh, you mean
It's
the
already been
impeachment?
dropped.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that he's got cronies that are GOP that are preventing it from coming to the House for a vote or coming to the floor for a vote. It's picked up steam with people. If you looked at, they did a poll
yeah?
on Facebook.
it's like
it was like
83%.
I guarantee it.
Yeah,
I
and,
guarantee it.
The regular average person doesn't want him there, but we don't count.
Of course,
Right.
you don't hear that. Like if you go and you watch one of his press conferences, you've got the trolls that are on there that are propping him up. They're paid to sit there and say, "Oh, he's handled this well and he's done this." But those people aren't even real. I mean, some of them might be. They're from that Clinton County Exposed and some of the other crazy sites like that. But
I'm
Or
sure
there
there's
are
some
other
plans,
rich
but
people
I'm-
that get money for him being in office or benefit somehow
It's
from
all
him being
crooked.
in office. You know what I mean?
and Ohio is just as corrupt as any other state in the
Sure.
union. It's not.
Well, we just proved that. with
Yeah.
householder.
Doesn't that drive you nuts though that DeWine is a Republican and so are you? I'm going to say as the and it
Right.
just so that's a reflection.
Yeah.
I thought because the liberal and the Democrats are some things they're doing I don't agree with. It
Well, the problem that,
know?
that we get into is, sometimes you got to remember not to vote for the R or the D. You
Right.
vote for the best candidate.
Right.
Now, back in the day, because I haven't voted for many Democrats in my lifetime, but we had a governor back a few years back that was a Democrat, and he was also our representative in this part of the state. And I voted for him when he was a representative, and I voted for him as governor. Now, I'm kind of sorry looking back, but at the same time, I don't think that the Republican would have been much better. And
Are you
that's
talking about Voinovich?
that's the same
Strickland.
Strickland. Oh yeah.
but that's the same thing with Kasich, and we haven't really had a Republican or conservative governor, back since the Strickland days, before that. So
Ohio's a swing state too.
because
Bob Taft, sort of.
yeah,
Yeah, Bob Taft.
yeah, but Ohio. It's blue in the big cities, like most states,
Right.
and red in the rural areas.
Everywhere else.
Yeah, so it swings, from one year to the next. I mean, Ohio elected Barack Obama 2 year, both
Both times.
both four.
But they got Trump last time.
Yeah, and I think that was because of Barack Obama. That's what people don't understand. Donald Trump is a direct result of 8 years of Barack Obama. People realize.
Oh, yeah.
So and who
They want
knows?
the polar
After
opposite,
8 years of Donald Trump, we may find that we'll see a swing back to the other way. The pendulum may change, but the real problem
Not
here.
with Biden is their figurehead, I don't think.
Yeah, well, Biden's not going to.
Well, after 8 years, he said.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that
Yeah,
part.
I don't
okay,
think. I don't
gotcha.
think. I don't think that Joe Biden has a.
If they came up with
chance.
someone obviously much better than Biden.
Yeah,
as
and I haven't seen any new young Democrat faces. All the ones that are coming up are so absolutely left radical. They're going to have to
They
come
need to
back.
come up
That
with a
chick from
moderate
Baltimore, She's
candidate.
good. She's
That's a
is it-
Republican.
Yeah, but
I know,
she is a
I know.
Republican, yeah.
Is it Kim something or other?
Kim Klacik or
Yeah.
or something? Yeah.
super. She has got a future. There's no question
I
about that.
agree.
She's one of the rising stars. And there was the black congressman, I think, that spoke at the RNC. I forget what his name is. He's like from North Carolina or South Carolina. He was very impressive as well. And I think that's what people keep thinking, because I think the Republican convention actually showed more diversity.
No, wait, the Trump convention.
Yeah, well, you can call it what you will, but obviously any convention is the party leader. I'd say that
That was the Trump
the
convention.
DNC was the Obama, even though Joe Biden is the candidate, was probably still the Obama
It was like
convention.
reflection on the Obama
Yeah.
years.
So I mean, you got Barack Obama,
Well,
you got Michelle Obama.
The big thing the Democrats did, though, too, is I felt like they were trying to be more inclusive to all their party. They
They
had
gave
all
AOC 1 minute.
they had, well, but they gave her something. They gave
Which she complained the whole time during her 1 minute that she only got 1 minute.
right. But they had, presidents from the past. They had, they had people. It wasn't. They tried to take a turn away from the far left during.
Well,
their
What do you
convention.
think
the
about her?
problem
Do you-
about
do
the
you think she's a
DNC was
dingbat?
it was the hate Trump convention.
Oh, yeah.
All they did was they didn't bring up anything, any new ideas, anything as far as to give people hope for the future.
We're going to tax the
Yeah, that's hopeful.
The ultra rich. We're going to tax the ultra rich. So
Basically,
the
a lot of it
Robin
was
Hood.
just like, we're going to give you free stuff without explaining how they're going to give
Well,
us free
taxing
stuff.
the
But
ultra-rich.
basically, just
Oh yeah, like
saying
there's enough
we're-
money with the ultra rich to pay for all that, which
They
So
say
basically,
there
we're just
is.
going to
Yeah.
tax
Oh, not even
everyone and
close.
lead you into
If you took-
communism, aka extreme destitution, and make you a second Venezuela.
yeah. If you look at the facts,
Don't pay attention to that, though. Just wait in the ration line.
you
Okay?
I don't agree
Yes,
with them. I'm just
same
saying
here.
that's what they're
well, if you
saying.
take them
yeah.
all
Take
the
your
money,
bread and
all
shut
the
up.
money, that means property. That means
Wait
you
for
take
your
all the
grits.
money of the top 1%. You couldn't even run the country for more than about, I think they said 6 months. That's all their money. That's not just, tax them, at 90%. That's if you take all their assets, you could run the country for about 6 months. So there isn't, they have to eventually come down to you and me and tax us. That's
It's
the only
going
way
to
they're
hell
going to
in
be
a
able to spend that kind of money. It's just not.
Well,
not-
they just
not
won't get
feasible.
in. I
But
don't
they
think.
won't mind it because they'll all still be ultra rich. The rest of us will just be really
Yeah.
poor.
And it's just like everything else. They won't wear their mask when they tell you to wear their mask. They
Just
won't,
like for the VMAs, all of those celebrities were exempt from like
14-day
quarantining and
quarantine.
wearing masks.
Yeah, so they're in New York. They're not required to quarantine for 14 days. They were given, a pass, and that's the problem. The problem is, and then they complained about the Trump convention because a lot of them weren't social distancing when they were at the White House and they weren't wearing masks. Yet they do it all the time. But for them, it's all right. But that's the problem. The problem is
That is.
yeah.
But for everybody else, no.
It's
It's
a
just
double
like
standard,
it's
I
just
agree.
like we had 5 states in Ohio that were considered states that you could not travel to without self quarantining.
Right.
And one of them was the state of Florida until Alice DeWine, Mike DeWine's daughter, and her family decided to take a trip to Florida. Mike DeWine took Florida off the list. So they didn't have to self-quarantine. So, once again, it's, do as I say, not as I do.
Not as I do.
And my daughter needs to have a nice vacation, so we're going to do away with the Florida quarantine. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way it's going to be. And if you think it's going to be that bad now, wait till they're elected. If they're elected, it's going to be 10 times as bad.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen.
There's no way.
I really do think it's going to be I think Trump will win in a landslide. I may be wrong, but I think Trump will win a landslide. And I think the that the Republicans are going to pick up more seats. I don't know if they'll pick up enough seats.
I think they'll take back the House. I think they'll
hope
keep the
so.
Senate, and I think
I
Donald
hope
Trump
so.
will be president. And if that's the case,
Oh,
what
but,
Bill Raybeck,
here's the thing: they had that for 2 years and
they
blew
did
it.
nothing with it.
And blew
And that's
it.
what Bill Raybeck is saying. He's saying that this time they'll have to make sure that they actually do something while they have that kind of control. Now, that doesn't mean that they'll have a super majority, because they won't. They won't. It's not like when Barack Obama won his first term and we ended up with health care, that was so affordable. They had complete control because they had a super majority those first 2 years before the House turned over. But we won't have that. It'll be very close in the House, and the Senate may even actually tighten up a bit. We may lose a seat or two. I don't know. But at this point, Donald Trump, I think, will win in a landslide. It'll be over 350 electoral votes, and because that's what you go on. And as far as the popular vote, right now they're saying that Donald Trump, since the convention, has picked up an increase of 60% of the minority vote. So what he's doing and what he's saying, it resonates with minority voters. And the only place he probably lags behind are women, and probably women in their, say, 40-ish age, because they don't like his rhetoric, the divisive, sometimes the things that he says. But they don't understand that's Donald Trump. That's just the way he operates. That's his shtick, so to speak. And for most of us, we realize that, Donald Trump, that's just the way he is. That's, it's sort of like me saying something to get Kim all stoked up. We just do it for the effect.
You're such
Just do
a
it for the
gem.
effect.
You're just such a gem.
Yeah, I am a gem.
Listen to him.
Well, you're something. I'll agree to that.
Yes.
You're something else.
Something.
It's all theater, folks.
Yeah.
Well,
Weren't you like the lead in Peter Pan or something?
No, it wasn't Peter Pan. No, I've been the lead in many a play.
Fiddler on
You
the
would,
Roof.
you would make a good Captain Hook.
you
I
guys
think.
that are watching out there, do us a
Walk the
favor
plank,
and
waterboard
share the
them.
show.
That's right.
Waterboard them.
Definition of waterboarding.
Roger Thompson's watching.
Hey, Roger.
You missed our conversation about Dean already.
Yeah.
Nice picture.
So maybe Roger can fill us in here.
Oh, that was bad.
I of course,
I was right.
you were right.
Bad.
Nice picture.
So, Labor Day coming up. We really haven't asked what you guys do this weekend. Anything exciting? What'd you do this
Went to
weekend?
Youngstown.
Well, I mean, other than the
You went to
games that we
Youngstown
did.
this weekend again. What'd you go back up there
We
for?
Said
had
you
a
or me,
flat
Sydney?
tire last
Sure
time
it's
on the
me.
Harley, and we
Right.
went to get it and visit his family. And so we went back up to Youngstown to get the Harley.
And you didn't have any issues this weekend then?
Not a single issue, not a peep. Everything was beautiful.
Good.
Imagine that.
What about
Yes.
you guys? The football games.
We
what
did
else?
we did the football games on Friday night. Did we do anything Saturday or Sunday?
I worked out with my friends.
Sydney, this is interesting because she does a group workout on her phone.
through Zoom.
And is it actually Zoom?
No, it's on
It's
my
some app,
It's on my workout
So
app.
all these women are, scantily clothed. I don't know. I have never watched it.
We wear workout clothes.
But anyway, they're working out on her phone. You can see, I hear them, and you'll hear dogs barking,
Rick's
babies
getting
crying.
too excited about this.
Anyway, so
That's why
we
Charlie
all
wants us
just
to do
work
a
out
workout
together,
program.
and
He
we-
wishes to be
like
scantily
it-
clad.
like you see the
No.
trainer is the big person in
Well,
the
they
middle of the
sweat a
room,
lot.
like your Zoom professor.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a class, and then all the other people in the squares are the people in your workout class, and you all do the workout class together.
So are you
It's
the
just like
leader?
a Zoom class. No,
Oh, okay.
it's the actual workout trainer.
I didn't know if you were
Yeah,
the leader
no,
or not.
I'm
That's
not.
all.
I'm
No,
not the
she's
trainer.
just
someone else.
she's
in the
just there.
class.
One of the ladies that but they're
Chris
all.
Kennard's watching. How you doing?
Also
Bethany
doing an
Grail,
ab
how
challenge.
are you?
Oh, this weekend I did a 72-hour water detox.
Yeah.
She didn't make it 72 hours.
I did not.
That's what happened. We came back from the game, and,
And we don't have to talk about
How
that.
many,
Well, we-
how many hours were we in at that point?
you did pretty good. 12.
No, okay. I was like over 24 hours
All right.
at this point.
All right.
All right, maybe that was.
So,
Okay, I started at 9 p.m. the day before that, so
All right,
like you can
okay.
give me a damn break.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know.
She can say damn.
Okay, I
so you're about 26, 28 hours.
28
into it.
hours in, and then I ate something.
Well, they had Chick-fil-A in the press box at Wilmington. She
I
couldn't
didn't
eat
eat it.
And so everybody's eating Chick-fil-A sandwiches at Wilmington. And like I said, at Massey, we had nothing. And they get Chick-fil-A. Of course, she didn't eat it.
It's like 11:30 at night. I made him go get me food.
She came home with Tony. He dropped her off and then dropped the equipment off. And then I came for Massey because we went a little bit longer than the Wilmington game.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I get here and she wants to go out and get something to eat.
I was like, we have to eat.
So
I don't
anyway.
care what it is.
So we went.
Like,
Where did
I
we
will
go?
eat cardboard. We went to Hardee's.
Okay, we went to
That's
Hardee's,
close
yeah,
enough.
in Octa, and and Hardee's is not the cheapest place to eat. It's not like a
It's
McDonald's. Yeah, it's there, and those poor truck drivers, they really rake them over the coals.
No,
but,
yes, they
but,
do.
we had burgers and fries and that. It was like $20, and
Yeah.
so,
Wow.
but that was a little faster than driving to Columbus trying to find some Raising Cane's or something like that.
Josh Faulkner's watching. Brian Lansing is watching. Brian, I'm still waiting for my
Tattoo.
yeah, what mistletoe tattoo. Hey, we'll have you come on the show, and you can do it here, or we'll go down to your shop and do a show one day. And you can hook me up with a mistletoe tattoo.
What Charlie's saying is he wants free.
Yeah, Brian.
Free
that's right.
tattoos.
But it's a mistletoe. But we can advertise as Old Town Ink. See,
There
while
you
we're
go.
there,
So anyway.
he does my wife's tattoos. He's got my wife hooked. Josh Faulkner's watching. How you doing, Josh? So yeah, Brian. We've said this now 2 or 3 times when I went live, and you just ignore me. So
Oh, I also this
serious.
week start my last class of my
That's right.
master's degree.
Good for you.
Monday,
She's
how
got
many masters is this?
second.
her second master's. It's the important one, though.
Are you going for a deck of cards or what?
No, next will be my JD.
JD.
Attorney. So
Juris Doctorate.
Yeah. So
For those who don't know.
and then I retire in a couple of years. Really.
I think he's already retired.
I was like, what is it that you do now?
Harass you.
I know. Like, ask me to do stuff.
She's very efficient.
I bet that she is.
Uh-huh. She keeps everything in her little book. Keeps all.
I tell you what, she's like my wife too. She won't forget anything. So be careful with that.
Yeah.
that's women
Oh, that's
generally.
women
That's
don't
women.
forget. Yeah. So you
Never
yeah,
forget.
you can't even distract them enough because they'll still come back. They'll come back at you when you thought you had them fooled, and it doesn't work.
You think they forgot about this?
I'm supposed to virtually see my urologist on Friday.
Yeah,
I
how's
think
that
I'm going to
happen?
cancel that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the first thing
Heaven
they
help
well, I
us.
mean, the first thing they do.
Yeah, I'm like, the
is they
first thing
take a
they do is
sample.
like watch me pee. I'm like, how are you going to do that on Zoom?
Yeah.
Well, I think what they particularly.
That's weird.
But the reason for that is they want to see
They,
how
like,
how the
test
bladder
stream
is.
of my
Yeah,
bladder
whether
with,
you're
like an ultrasound machine.
whether you're efficiently
like-
emptying your bladder.
So you better make that phone call.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
so-
think I'm gonna.
And I don't have
gonna
an
do
ultra
that.
I don't have a machine here, so we can't do that
An
here.
ultrasound.
Yeah,
No, you
ultrasound.
got plenty of video.
That
equipment.
doesn't even make sense.
So yeah, I was like, I don't think that's happening.
Oops, that just went out live. No.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you
It's
always
just
want
the truth, folks.
Yeah.
It's just the
Oops.
truth.
Yeah,
Oops.
you're on your phone and suddenly you're broadcasting and you weren't supposed to be.
I've been subbing some this week. So
Well, you were at Miami Trace.
I was at Miami Trace 2 days here last week. I was at.
Now, were you actually teaching band at Miami Trace?
Yesterday, I was actually the band director. The other day, I was physical science.
Physical
Elemental.
science.
What is that?
So what? Yeah, what is
Did you
physical
like
science?
I love that.
Did you like my hints?
I
try to
did.
give hints.
I thought it was chemistry.
I thought it was chemistry
No,
myself.
well,
'cause
that
the
would
elements,
be.
That's what I
Well,
was thinking,
that's
periodic table.
Physical
Okay,
science
so-
is like the precursor to chemistry. So that's
So what is
you're-
it you actually teach about physical science?
Actually, I taught.
This is a rock.
Is
I
that
taught-
biology.
I taught. No, that'd be biology. Yeah, that'd be ecology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't call it biology anymore.
biology study like living organisms.
Right.
You know, chemistry and physical science, and that's like the gases, the periodic table, how elements mix. You know, so yeah, physical science and this was honors physical science. So I had honors physical science all day, and I didn't blow anything up. So that's the main thing.
Always a plus.
Yeah. Don't start any fires. Don't blow anything up.
Heard more cars got broke into in Sabina last month. Everybody keep your cars locked. Yeah, mine. They tried to break in, but they didn't because I had it locked. There wasn't anything in there to steal anyhow. But my neighbor, he's got like Fort Knox at his house. He's got like 10 cameras. So like he's even got cameras shooting over in my driveway. So he caught him on the video and he turned it over to somebody.
So he actually had a good picture of the individual, the culprits.
Yeah. There's two of them. One was up at the car. It's funny because they were trying to like use their coat so they wouldn't leave any fingerprints on the
Why don't they just wear
handles.
gloves? Huh? Why didn't they just wear
Couldn't
gloves?
afford to buy them. They had too much drugs to buy.
Got to steal some more money in order to buy some gloves, right?
You guys are online right now. If you don't mind, share the show. We'd appreciate it. Jim Foltz, how you doing? Jim's going to a big car show this Sunday, and I'm kind of kicking around the idea of going. It's clear down. It's like near Aberdeen, but it's across the river over into Kentucky. He says it's really cool because you can go down and you can take your
What's the little
ferry
town across the river there?
ferry. You can take a ferry, put your cars out on the ferry boat and take it across, which that would be kind of neat.
Is that Maysville or what?
Well, Maysville's on one side. This is on farther south, and I can't really think of the name of it right offhand. I'd have to look. Jeff Meese, how you doing? Steve Jenkins, they are on. Brandon Reed, how are you guys doing today? Anything that we talk about on here, you guys feel free to throw your comments out there. If there's something going on that we should know about too. You know, a lot of people are still asking about the Corn Festival, Scarecrow Festival, all that stuff's
Canceled.
Is Hillsborough Fair canceled too?
No, Highland County Fair.
on.
Highland County Fair is on next week. I don't know if it's a full fair or not, but it is on next week.
You mean like rides and?
Yeah, I don't know if it was originally rides and all that, but I think they maybe just cut it back to like the 4-H.
Well, I mean, Wilmington had their fair, the Clinton County Fair,
but then DeWine put a halt to
Fayette County had their fair.
Yeah, and I think that's why.
Yeah,
because all rise in Corona after these fairs.
Yeah, but now the CDC released that only like 6,000 people have actually died from the coronavirus.
Well, Corona
total
only.
Corona only, no
so
actual other comorbidities.
Right. So I think that's sort of squashed their theories here. But now what DeWine is complaining about is that Ohio is not meeting the number of tests that it's supposed to be doing. That we felt like 100 people short. Yeah, they have a quota, and but I think across the country we're supposed to be testing. I don't know whether it's 150,000 a day or something like that, but in Ohio, I thought the quota was like 20,200, and we were only doing 20,100, so that was unacceptable. So maybe he's going to shut things down because we're not testing enough. But whose fault is that?
I wonder who gets paid for all those tests.
Yeah, well, I mean,
who are they getting them from?
Let's face it, it's all about federal funding. They keep this thing going. The money keeps flowing in from Washington D.C. And that's what they do. That's in fact, there were a lot of nurses that were saying that that's the point. The point is they won't shut this down because they're getting too much money for it. And you look at the people that have benefited from this, the entities. It's the Walmarts, it's the big companies that are making unbelievable profits.
We landscaped our whole yard and redid everything
at the expense of small business. I mean, small businesses are the ones that are actually suffering. And you've got this the new ghost kitchen concept, where now
we're not opening a ghost kitchen for the 15th
I like
time.
that idea.
You say that all the time. You don't know how to make a microwave meal.
A ghost kitchen. I'm at many a restaurant, but anyway, a ghost kitchen is simply a kitchen that prepares food and you have, usually
The
you'll have an
Uber
app and you'll have it delivered.
He's
but,
just trying to
but
get
you
me to
have
cook
no
for
sit down.
strangers.
You have, it's just a kitchen. Now you might have a drive-through, but it's in fact, even Taco Bell, they are actually starting to build new Taco Bells into next year that will be just like, they'll have no dining inside.
Be like
It'll be
rallies.
strictly, that's right. It'll be strictly drive-through. They'll have 2 drive-through lanes. They've redesigned their buildings, and these are things that are changing because of the coronavirus.
I foresee that happening.
Well, and I think that a lot of businesses have said, really, we actually make more profit when we do this way than if we keep, dining open and people are, have you ever gone to a parking lot anywhere and see there's people all over the place that are eating in their cars? That's just,
Well,
that's
a lot of times you
that's
don't have
what's
a
happening.
choice.
Well, no, you don't have a choice.
We did it last night when we went to that concert. We weren't sure if they were going to have food there, so we just by default we ran through McDonald's and
My favorite place.
and we ate there. I mean, it'd been a long time since I had a quarter pounder with cheese, so I thought, let's go ahead and get one. So I got one, and
I don't think I've ever had one of those.
It's a lot of.
I don't know if you want it. I mean,
It's
I
not on the
think they're
dollar
good.
menu.
well, but it's also I don't
that
know.
all you make your
I don't know
off the
how
dollar
you.
menu?
I don't know how it would go with your Crohn's.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm waiting for my new antibiotics to come in.
So we're hoping that
That will help.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm going to have to be on them probably for the rest of my life. Otherwise, they're going to give me a colostomy bag.
Yeah, you said that last week. Yeah, we don't want that.
So,
No.
No, we definitely don't want that.
We're still waiting for Charlie to get his tattoo.
Yeah, hey, I'll do it. Let's do it. Anybody want to join me? Get mistletoe
No.
tramp stamps?
No.
no, but I saw my
not
psychiatrist on
serious, are you?
telehealth
Well,
yesterday.
yeah, why not? That way, if I don't
Do
like
you
somebody,
want me
I
to
can
set
just,
you up an appointment with her?
Who's that?
My psychiatrist.
No.
Are you for real?
I've said this last 3 or 4 weeks. Where you been, fool?
I don't know because I thought you were joking.
Did that? No, he's serious.
I do it.
Like where a field goal goes, that's where you're gonna put your mistletoe.
Yes.
Yeah, that way you get it. What
Yeah.
do you do under a mistletoe?
Yeah, but what do you do with a field goal?
What do you do under a mistletoe?
Oh boy.
Charlie,
What do you do under a mistletoe?
You got some nice lights in here, Rick.
What do you do under
the
a
lighting scheme
mistletoe?
you got going on.
you like that lighting?
You're supposed to
changing
I don't
the.
know, and you're
Actually, the lighting,
evil mind.
A
What you
field
do?
goal, buddy. A field goal.
the lighting has gotten brighter.
Think right where your mistletoe is gonna be.
But what do you do
I don't even wanna
under a
think of it.
mistletoe? You kiss it. So that's why, like, when you make me mad, I can just go, Kim.
Kiss
show
my
you-
mistletoe.
I can show you my mistletoe,
Oh gosh.
and then you will get the whole idea that I'm saying.
I guess
"Kiss
it's.
my
I guess
butt."
it's better than a camel toe, right?
Yeah. We ain't got no camel toes now. That's Kim's department. That's not my department.
No. Not this girl.
I'm Sydney. You notice I'm not picking on you.
Sydney's
You notice
quieting down. She's. Oh, she's giving you that look.
that. Give me that look like she's going.
You got that look.
She's gonna kill you later.
He gets that look often.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You do.
So now,
Do you only misbehave when your friends are around?
No, I do it all the time.
just curious. Sydney, you won't like me for saying this, but so since you did some football games, has anybody approached you about wanting to do any other sports like volleyball games or anything like that?
Well, I'm sure that they would like us to. One of the reasons that we went back and we are doing these games are because we actually have sponsors.
Right.
And we have sponsors because we're the only game in town. And what I
Right.
mean by that is the first thing that we ask for is exclusivity. We didn't want any other broadcasts going on.
Right.
And in fact, I think we ticked off a few people, because of that reason. But you can't have competing, information going out there about a game if you're trying to get, sponsors for
Well,
your.
that's
for
why I
your-
didn't know if you could. Because
It
you
might-
might get some sponsors that just do volleyball.
Well,
too.
it might. Volleyball. I don't know whether there's enough people that. I mean, obviously, any sport that you do, there are going to be
I'm
people
just
that are
thinking
interested
the-
in it, like
the-
parents.
I'm just thinking the restaurants though that you're at, they might like that. too.
I think that they'll like anything, because I think
That you do local.
I think a lot of businesses did not realize that they could actually look at, because we've got over 600 various sporting events that are in our archives.
And they could go ahead and play them at
And
any
they
time,
can
right?
access them at any time. We don't have them blocked. So if they wanted to pull up a volleyball game or a lacrosse match, or they wanted to pull up a football game, or they wanted to pull up a basketball game, maybe like the Final Four when Wilmington went to the Final Four in Columbus, all that is available on our website.
Right.
So they could be playing that all day long, if they chose to do that. And I think now a lot of these businesses have realized that with the advent of what transpired over the weekend. And it's always been that way. They just didn't think about it, I guess.
Well, and I tell you what, I'm not trying to say milk the cow till it's dry, but if the money's out there, you might want to try to go after some money and get some volleyball.
Well, and I think that people are, they're wanting sports, and they don't want to tune in NFL. They don't want to tune in Major League Baseball.
College is going to be a mess this year.
Yeah,
Looks
well,
like college
the
football.
Big Ten is still talking about starting their season in November.
Yeah, that's
Well, the
be too late. though?
reason they're doing that is because they want to play this year and into the beginning of next year, so that they can still play in the fall of next year without really it being too tough on their athletes. And I don't think it's going to work.
And also you're missing out on the spring combines. You
Yeah.
don't want to play in the spring because that's when all these guys are getting ready to be recruited for the
And
NFL.
Spring football's starting again in lots of schools. Is that right? In the spring?
Well,
And they canceled the fall?
semi-pro play in the spring. Ohio State and a lot of big schools, they have club sports, which are like intramural, but they're at a much higher level. In fact, the Big Ten or the Ohio State University were national champions in football last year, and their national championship club football team is better than a lot of Division I regular football teams. They're just that good. But they play a fall session and they play a spring session, and they do that with baseball. They do that with a lot of their sports, and they have more club sports than they do actual regular sports,
Right.
because they're funded differently, and they've got even do gaming as a sport, as a club sport, but they have fencing, they have all kinds of club sports, the same sports that they have with their regular teams and more. And the club sports are what we really want to get more involved in.
Guy Durham is watching all the way from St. Louis.
Hey, Guy.
Brian Forrest is watching. Debbie and Dale. How you doing, Debbie and Dale? They're watching. Christopher Walls is watching.
Hey, Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
Chris Walls says Rick can delegate. Uh-oh. Free show, folks. Don't look.
A shirt under a shirt. She's getting a little warm. The studio lights, they're so hot.
That's because she's sitting between us.
That might be, and I've snuggled. She asked me to do this, and then she turns around and says, I'm making her too warm. I'm sitting on top of her, she said. Well, I am. That's good. That'll be good this winter. You'll be thankful.
It's not winter yet.
Guy Durham, we're all doing good. How are you doing? Things good out there?
All in St. Louis, MO.
Yep, things good out there in St. Louis. Guy, for those of you who don't know, has a hearse. He also has a three-wheel motorcycle, and just an all-around good guy. Lives out in St. Louis. He actually come up here to Wilmington one year for the Valentine's Car Show, which I need to call them about that. It is the beginning of September. I think, have they had any gun shows out there?
I don't think so.
Well, I think they were getting permission to, but I don't know.
I don't even know if they were having weddings out there. I mean, I guess they are, but
I don't know. Last time I talked to Angela, but that was clear back in the spring, they weren't having much at all. So
yeah, and of course they usually have all kinds of events there, and they've got the space. They can do weddings, and like they did your car show, and they'll have other things going on the other side. But I don't think that they've been doing much of anything there. And I think their restaurant though was open, so you can actually go in and eat at the restaurant.
Yeah, Max and Squirmas.
And yeah, a lot of places are open. They're just not seating, so you can go inside and get your food, but you still have to leave.
Oh, you can't sit in Max and Irma's? I bet you
No,
can.
you can sit in Max and Irma's. You can't sit at McDonald's. They have.
No.
Did you see where show pictures, and it's the one up where we used to be there by the interstate. They have these little cones sticking on the seats. So you're not going to sit down on the seat.
Yeah,
Yes.
You got the little pointy cones. Yeah, you get the picture.
But I will say this, and I thought this was kind of odd, but it's true. I'm not lying. Burger King in Washington Courthouse, you can go in and sit there.
I think the Burger King in Wilmington you can. A lot of it has to do with the franchise, you know, depending on who owns the franchise and what their policy is. Because different now the Wilmington on at State Route 68 and Interstate 71 is owned by the same franchise that owns the one in Wilmington, and they own 20 franchise locations. Blue Ash down in Cincinnati, and so. The franchises in Wilmington, most of them, though, I think are owned by the company. I forget the name of the company, but they own Pizza Hut. They own Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They own
Pepsi.
Burger
PepsiCo.
King. They own
PepsiCo.
Well, yeah, but there's an actual
the
franchisee.
Yum Center down there in Louisville.
And they dictate, I think, what their policy is for their various franchise locations. So I don't even know if you can sit down at KFC in Wilmington.
No, you can't.
No.
Guy Durham says, I look at these guns of mine all the time, laugh out loud. He's got a bunch of guns, too. Linda Newman, Fugay's watching, and Guy Durham, they have been canceling a lot of things or just haven't had it out there in St. Louis. That sounds like about the same here. So interesting that in Ohio, though, the difference just between counties. There's, some counties seem like are a lot stricter than other counties.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, we go to the dollar store right here by us. Nobody wears masks.
Yeah.
We're the only two in there with masks. And
No way.
Yeah.
That
And
concert last night,
Now,
Alba.
I don't see you as
I
being
ca-
somebody
I
putting
care.
that on.
I'm not going to fight or get people upset or whatever.
Are you
It says on the door to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I ain't
When
put
you
one
say
on
complying,
one time nowhere.
complying,
I go
yeah.
in anywhere
Well,
I want to.
yeah.
Let them ask.
Well,
me to leave.
nobody's going to. People are not actually confronting
I
people.
will not.
Now you get people that might be other patrons that might say something to someone, but
that'd be
but
today.
I think that is diminishing over time because so many more people are saying this was all a hoax to begin with,
Right.
And so there are fewer people that are masking up for that reason. And that's the sad part about it. You get so used to doing it, you just do it. And that's the whole point of why they had you do it in the first place. So,
Well, and I tell you one thing I do not like, even though Miami Trace gave me a real nice mask, is wearing that all day trying to teach.
they actually have said that the masks are causing more complications with breathing and pleurisy and other things that you can get because you've got all that bacteria and contained right there, and you're breathing it in, and for anybody that tries to poo-poo that and say, no, that's not true, you can breathe fine, that's BS, because it just stands to reason that if you've got something,
I get hot.
Yeah, if you get something that's covered. Well, I saw one young lady, and apparently this is typical. Her face, where the mask was just beet red because her face was reacting to the fact that you weren't getting any kind of airflow to the skin and that. And it's the same thing with breathing that back in and back in.
Guy Durham says, I give it about a month or less, and the schools will be closed for the rest of the year. A kid that had COVID, one kid had COVID, so the whole middle school closed. Then Friday, a high school teacher had COVID, so yep, they'll be closed.
Well, that might be in certain states.
Yeah, he's in Missouri.
Yeah, I think we're not seeing that they're as readily jumping to those conclusions and shutting things down now. North Carolina, they just recently decided that they were going to close the dorms down. I think that a lot of colleges, and of course, I don't have a high opinion of higher education to begin with.
No.
Especially my wife with her 2 master's degrees, whatever. But I think that college, for the most part, is an incredible ripoff. people are being put into poverty because of the outrageous amounts
Let's
of money
just be
that they're
clear.
having
I
to pay.
have no student
No,
loans.
she doesn't have. She's everything's full scholarship for her. But for the most part, these poor kids that go to college and rack up these huge debts that they're never going to probably pay back. If they do, it's certainly going to be for the rest of their life. And the colleges are sucking them in again. They're saying, hey, we're going to be open. We're going to have classes. Then you get there and you find, well, there's all these restrictions. You can't socialize. You can't. It's not the college experience that most people are looking for at college.
Guy Durham, he says he gets lightheaded from walking around with a mask.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
I had to do a MRI of my brain a few weeks ago, and they made me wear the mask the entire time. I was both in the hospital waiting for the MRI, and then while I was doing the MRI, and halfway through the MRI, the machine conked out, then they had to redo the MRI. So I was wearing the mask for about, 2 hours or something?
Now, we do give mask breaks.
You get to take the masks off? So where do you go to do that?
Are you kidding?
Well, yesterday, we had a fire drill outside.
Oh,
so
everybody can demask?
So after the fire drill was over, I told my class, just spread out and sit down. And they did that. And I said, okay, give yourself a mask break here for about 3 or 4 minutes. And they were appreciative.
So now was this, the Board of Education, the principal, who dictates
Miami
if you can
Trace
demask?
says that you can give them a mask break.
See, I think that
so
Miami Trace, and I don't use progressive in a derogatory term. I think that Miami Trace is one of the more progressive. I think Clinton Massey is the same way.
Yep.
Two of the more progressive high schools in the area, in a sense that they make common sense.
Right.
Now, I don't
Trace
think.
is my alma
I don't know if Clinton Massey is going full time or not. Miami Trace is.
Right.
Which is the most.
At least the
practical.
high school and the middle school. I'm not sure about the elementary. I don't know if the elementary is split or not.
Yeah, but these hybrid, I don't even understand what's the purpose of that. Is it just to
everything.
continue to
my
maintain
little
some
sister, for
control?
example, she lives in Florida and she's in high school. For the first 9 weeks, she's going all online, and then after that, they're going back to school full time in the classroom,
Now, see,
which
that
I
would
think
make
makes
sense.
sense
Yeah.
because for at least 9 weeks, they're doing one consistent thing and then doing a consistent
I
thing
think
after
consistency.
that.
Make it 9 weeks
so at least
online
makes
or
sense
go back to
that,
school.
You know,
Yes, I
they're
think
keeping
go
it
to school
consistent
and
for
all
both the children and the parents.
They're not
not
giving us
like going
any
back and forth and
refund on
doing some
taxes.
weird nonsense where it's like you're half in, you're half out. You shake
Yeah.
it all about.
Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around.
That's right, there you go.
So
That's what it's
you're
all
totally
about.
right.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I heard.
at least they're keeping it somewhat,
We got several comments on here. Chris Walls, he says, seems trade schools are better nowadays.
Well, they are. There's
They
no
haven't
question.
they haven't been bad in past days though. Richard Keach is watching with us.
Oh boy.
The schools.
Good morning, Richard.
Guy Durham says the schools here will be closed here for the rest of the year. I would bet on it. I also see it happening all over in the United States with schools. And we also have Ricky Cross watching. How you doing, Ricky? Guy Durham, this crap is going to start all over again, just like it was before. I hope you're wrong, Guy Durham. I'm hoping like around November 4th or 5th, it just goes away.
Well,
Magically, it just goes
That would
away.
be too easy.
Well,
That would
I-
expose
The
it
skies
for
will
what
part,
it is,
and
you
we'll
know?
hear hallelujah.
well,
Each
maybe,
space for one or two.
well, maybe the corona will go away,
Right.
but the violence, the protests, that's not going to go away.
No.
So I think that we're going to see that will continue, even after the election. But yes, I think that 99% of this was all about Trump and all about reelection.
Yep.
I think that a lot of it was all political, but. The bottom line, we're not saying that there wasn't a coronavirus. We know there was. It was always overhyped, and it was used, politically to try to dethrone Donald Trump from the presidency. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to probably see a reoccurrence of will be flu. The flu will start coming in, and so will it be corona or will it be flu or
This
will it
was
be a
one-
combination?
Flu
One
shots
big
are
test
available now.
in civil obedience. This was an experiment to see who would comply and who would not, and who with their tinfoil hat. That's what I feel this was about.
Well,
I think it's so much more than an election. Maybe not. But
and that may be, but that's the problem. The problem is it might have been about the election, but then these governors started saying, "Hey, I'm pretty powerful,"
Right.
And they're just now starting to allow people to eat in restaurants in New Jersey, and you look at New York. There are cities like New York City that probably will never ever recover from
they won't.
what they've done to
Absolutely.
themselves.
Did you see where the police union there is calling for the resignation of the mayor?
Oh, I don't doubt that they will, but they're
They-
also
they already
supporting.
are.
They're supporting Donald Trump for president.
Yeah.
yeah. So that what does that tell you? There were 6 mayors in
Minnesota,
in Minnesota that actually have come out and said we support Donald Trump. We've had enough of this, the way things are running. So it's not just because you have a D by your name that
agree.
you're crazy, radical. It's not. That's not what it's all about.
that's what everyone keeps saying, though, the liberals and the Democrats, and that drives me nuts.
Well, that's the
for the
side
most
they're
part, it
on.
probably is. But what I'm saying
Suck
is,
it up, Buttercup.
See,
well,
I'm a liberal.
Then
I'm a
no,
Democrat.
you need to.
you're
come
not
to
a
the other
liberal. You're
side.
going to have to understand.
I
that
think you're more of an independent constitutionalist, to be honest.
I mean,
and
everybody's to their own
I mean, you're
rights to freedom and things.
You're
I might
still
not like what
you're
you're
still
doing,
twisted,
but I support
but
your right to do it.
you're untwisting a little.
Chris Wall says
know.
trade
but
schools.
obviously, I can't tell you what you are. You are whatever you want to be.
I don't
but
know
Whatever you
yet.
identify
You have the right
as.
to pick whatever
What does
the
Chris
heck
say?
you want to be.
Chris Wall says trade schools give them experience. Seems colleges are pushing an agenda, trying to turn them one
And they're
way or
taking
another,
their money.
mostly left.
Yeah, they're taking their
And,
money.
Phil Hoskins, how you doing,
Hey,
Phil?
Phil.
He says UD says 111 new cases. How? Now they are doing remote learning.
They probably
Chris-
have more STDs
Chris
going
Bogan
around.
watching from Virginia. He's one of our sailors. Thanks, Chris, for your service. It's crazy just the way this whole thing's went down. And like I said, it's coming where it's not. I told a friend of mine the other day who's a big Biden supporter, and I just said, look, he was bowing at me because I was a Trump supporter, coming up, just giving me crap. And I said, sir, it don't make any difference whether Biden or Trump. We're going to have bigger problems than that because this Black Lives Matter, because the Black Lives Matter, in my mind, and call me wrong if you want,
Terrorists?
to me, that's KKK.
Yeah.
That's a black KKK.
I would definitely say they're domestic terrorists.
And here's the deal.
I don't know if I would.
Here's the deal. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this on radio, but I'm pretty self-centered down, not self-centered, but I describe myself as a centrist. I'm pretty much down the middle.
You're in the middle
on
of the
stuff.
road.
And I tell you what, there's a lot of people that are way farther right than me they're making plans right now. And I'm telling you, like these militias and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, these biker groups, the militias.
The doomsday preppers, like the
They
survivalists.
are. I'm telling you.
How many people you think actually
it's-
really, really
it's-
they got
it's
bunkers built in
coming.
their backyards?
I don't
bet
actually.
a lot
I
of
don't
people
actually
do.
think that these are the groups that are going to go out and initiate anything.
Oh,
But they're,
no.
Oh, I
They're
know.
no.
No,
But
I
they're
think
going to
they
be
are.
right there. You think they
No,
are?
I think they are. I think, because they're just fed up. I'm getting fed up with it. And
Absolutely.
I'm down,
if you're
I'm down the
talking-
middle of the road.
Yeah, but if you're
You know.
talking about them going to a protest, like a Black
I
Lives
can
Matter
see it
protest,
happening.
to confront them,
I can
All
see
right.
it
that
happening.
may
Well,
be. But they're not going to go out and just protest
is
or
WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. You are listening to The Morning Zoo.
it's 9:01.
Richard Keach, let's see what Richard Keach says here. Richard Keach says
This will be grand.
Richard.
people need to pull their head out of their butts and take our country back. Well, and I think it's getting to that point, Richard.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think some of these radical right wingers are going to come out, and it's going to be game over here pretty soon. Todd Blocker, you just proved your point, Kim, Democrat and liberal. Cassie Hibbert, how you doing, Cassie? She's watching. Magi Jake, hey, Magi Jake, how are you doing? And Chris Wall says they will be ready. And I think he's talking about like what I'm talking about, the militias.
well, there's no question about that.
Everyone
no
should
one's
have
going
an
to sit back and
arsenal in their
let
house.
Well, I just think I know how I feel about it, and it's such a double standard the way the Black Lives Matter stuff is. And I'm not, I have lots of black friends. I have no problem with black people. I have problems with people who think they're better than everybody else, black or
I have a problem
white.
with anyone who feels entitled to
Yeah,
anything just because
right,
of what you look
right,
like, where you came
exactly.
from,
Right.
who your parents are, whatever. No one is entitled to anything just because of who you are or what you look
What
like.
the color of your skin is, or whatever.
It's like me being like, oh, I'm entitled to stuff because I'm Jewish. Oh, I'm entitled to stuff because of who, my dad was an officer in the military. I'm not entitled to any more or any less because of who I am or where I came from. And neither are you or anyone else.
Right.
You need to earn whatever it is you get in life on your own accord.
Yep. Magi Jake.
So that's just how I feel about it.
Magi Jake, when you coming in? He's going to be one of our guests one day if we can get him in here. Plus, Jason Stoops apologized he couldn't make it in today, but he'll come in one day, I think. Also, I'm trying to get Tower White in. I've talked to Tower, and I don't know if I'll get him to come in or not, but I'm trying to get him in. Tower is a bodyguard that has been out with a lot of these long hair 80 bands.
Okay.
They actually invited him to go on a cruise with them last year just for security. This guy's great. You'll love him. You'll love him.
That'll be cool.
Who would go on a cruise right now with the COVID as bad?
This was back. This was a year ago.
In fact, I think there are some cruise ships that are still out there. They haven't come
Yeah,
back.
they're really cheap.
Yeah.
Chris Walls, I don't think it's a far right thing. I think it's an American thing. This all has a lot of us remembering what we was and wanting it back. I know I do.
Well,
But
that's true.
Kelly Urick is watching also. I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is think about, because you know as well as I do, there are plenty of crazy right-wingers out there.
Sure.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
there's
you
crazies
and I
on both
think,
sides
are
of
on
the
about the
spectrum.
same plane.
Right.
But there's people that
Just as many radical lefts, there's as many alt-rights
right
out there.
And-
You might not see them as much, but
And
they're there.
I'm not talking Klan necessarily. I'm just talking
Yeah,
like
just-
militias that are just going to be. You know what? If you're not going to protect these people, it's like. Did you guys
Yeah.
notice the other day, the night that Trump guy, the supporter, got killed in Portland that morning? They had a huge convoy of big.
You
old
think if the
trucks
police really did get
and-
defunded, how many militia
Trump
people would really actually be out there
Right.
and pretend to be the police?
All of them probably.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I do.
There really are people out there who would be the police.
Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you see that? Did you guys see that convoy of trucks and cars with Trump flags and American flags heading into Portland the other day?
No.
Oh yeah. There's videos out there on. I mean, it was a long line, and they were coming in to, protect part of the city during the day.
And I'm not saying there
crazy.
wouldn't need to be some sort of law and order. I'm just saying there
That's
really
the
are people out
Well,
there.
you're not against having law.
And I'm
and
not.
order
I'm
anyway.
not
I mean,
against
I'm
there
not
being
either.
regular police. I'm just saying there are people out there who'd really think they are the police now.
And then they turn into a bunch of
Yeah.
crackpots. And
There's that.
Yes.
So.
And it's going to happen. I mean, I'm just
so,
telling you. It's
yeah,
gonna
I mean,
happen.
I'm not saying it ain't gonna happen either. 'Cause
I don't
I
know.
look for New York to become two different states, and I look for California to become two, and I look for Washington.
Well, California has become its own.
You think just because
Washington,
I think we're soon to have more than
Washington,
50
Oregon,
states.
California.
Yeah, I see some of these
just
places
shut 'em
already
off.
kind of crumbling apart. Portland is basically already there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Well, look at San Francisco. I mean, that's homeless.
I mean,
city.
I lived
Yeah,
in San
Haight-Ashbury
Francisco,
and
and it was a
Berkeley.
mess. I mean, the tent cities
Yeah.
were basically just already corrupt. The Hunger Games are already going on. People just stealing from each other that were supposedly friends, and
Oh boy,
I mean, the drugs
Yeah,
running
it's-
wild, and
that's it. That's
It's
it right
not-
there.
It's not good.
the welfare, the poverty,
But you know what is funny about this too?
people
And-
getting paid to pick up
and-
human fecal matter as a job.
Yep, I'm gonna get some Democrats on my side here for a minute, because here's the deal, and we're kind of all being played here, because when we think all that stuff, what party are we thinking? We are thinking it's liberal, Democrat.
People to let this go on.
But here's the thing. This is Donald Trump's America right now.
Right.
Yeah, except that Donald
And-
Trump doesn't control what goes on in Democrat cities.
Well, but it's Donald Trump's America. Right
Well, he
now.
can't make it all
I don't
go
think
away.
that I don't think that people are blaming Donald Trump, because that's what we're going to see, the enormous groundswell of voting for Donald Trump in this next
But
election.
if I'm a Democrat, I they're missing the point. They need to push that home. Well, yeah, there's a Democrat mayor here, but here's why it's like this, and this is Donald Trump's America.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not. It wouldn't. It wouldn't
I
fly.
tell you what, I think
mean,
I could make a case.
it
you
might
know.
be for the alt left, radical progressives.
No, I think
I don't
even
know.
centrists. I think centrists and Democrats would come to that argument. Hey, but see, here's where they screwed up. Was they've went along with, oh yeah, we need to get rid of police and we need to
It's the
take
appeasement.
That's where because now it's backfiring on them because now all the polling is showing, oh, hey, we really do need police. And
Well, yes.
Biden has, I think, been fairly consistent saying that he didn't want to get rid of police, but there changes needed to be made or something.
No,
But,
I could agree with that.
yeah,
I think most folks could.
yeah. Well, even Trump's done that.
But you got to think about this too. The police officers out there now, they're in this heightened sense of all of this. So anytime any person, I don't care, black or white, they make a fast move to get a gun. You don't.
Yeah,
know
I
that they
can't
open the
imagine
car
what
door.
it'd be like to be a police
right,
officer
you'd be
today.
on high alert all the time, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
This is
basically
volatile.
imagine being like a soldier in wartime.
Yes.
You're literally in the battlefield.
You are.
Someone coming at you, you don't know what kind of
Everybody's
weapon they have or
shooting
whatever.
you, but it's not
Everyone's
you.
literally,
Yes.
conceivably a target or a enemy. You don't know.
I think there's going to be some mental things that happen for
PTSD,
the yes.
One of the songs
Yes.
the bands did at the concert last night, 7 Day Slumber, was a song called Man Down. And it was really neat because they had like an army video behind it and all that. But at the end, it showed a military person contemplating. They didn't show whether he committed suicide or not, but you're fine. They contemplating that. And anyhow, and it goes back to 22 military a day, kill themselves.
Right.
Is it a day or is it a minute? It's a
No,
day.
it's a day.
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22.
22 a day. But here's the thing. Guess who's probably going to start joining that crowd?
Police.
Is
Police.
your police.
Your police.
First
Yeah,
responders.
the police, because
First
they're just-
responders.
First responders
Absolutely.
in general.
Absolutely.
Well, you would imagine.
Because you also
even-
have to consider these firefighters
even
that have
if
to
you're
run
a
and do these
firefighter.
burning buildings that people are setting on fire on purpose.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Then wondering if you're going to
And
get
they
shot.
can't save
going to
people
the-
Exactly.
Yes.
because,
That's
of
exactly-
devastation or shootings and all this other
So
nonsense.
that's where I think, I hate to say it, I hate to get on that bed, but that's where the National Guard should be coming in.
Yeah. Well,
EMTs that are
I
actually
feel-
accidentally getting caught in the line of fire, trying to save people.
I would imagine anybody in a blue uniform, be it policeman, fireman,
Security
ambulance,
guard.
anybody
Yeah,
would be
I agree.
a
Security
target.
guard.
Yep.
but don't. When you're out and about now, when you're in different places, do you tend to be more aware of your surroundings and what's going on or what isn't?
No, because we
No.
still live in
Because I
Podunk.
still live in Cornfield, USA.
So you think
Yeah.
that you're protected because you're in Podunk?
Yeah, it's not so much.
I mean, I
Our
don't know if
part-
we're
it's-
necessarily
druggies and
protected, but
thieves
stuff
are our
doesn't
biggest
necessarily
problem.
happen as rampantly here as
No.
it.
Right.
We don't live in Chicago. We
Right.
don't live in downtown New York City
Well,
in the
even
Bronx.
Cincinnati and
Even
Columbus has had
Cleveland.
some
But
rise in
no, we
violence.
don't live in Columbus or
Right.
Cincinnati either. We're not walking
I
the
think
streets.
we're sheltered from a lot of the world.
Yes, and
Honestly.
that's why we didn't get corona as bad.
Well, yeah. Yes.
I mean, if you want to go walk the north side of Dayton, you're welcome.
Well, the north side isn't the bad side.
Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
actually.
Go to south side. South side.
The west
West
side.
West side. West side. If you want to go to West Side, like take your shotgun. I'll be here. West Side.
Oh my God!
I'll be here with Kim. See you when you get back. Take the city bus.
Well,
I'll give you $3.
unfortunately, there's violence just about wherever you go. And you're right, probably in rural America, particularly like we're talking about Sabina, we're talking about Wilmington, we see more of the petty
Wilmington
theft.
is getting worse.
The petty theft and you don't really see, you're not seeing bodies laying around or murders every other day or anything like that. We haven't gotten to that.
Well,
to that
yeah,
point.
I mean, there's not that.
I'm laughing because
boy.
this just come up in Facebook memories.
Oh.
But Dave Hurst, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, which Dave's been on the show, and Dave's a great guy. He's funnier than heck. But anyhow, he bought a bunch of these things that look like dead bodies for their haunt. And he's bringing them into Sabino. And one fell out of the truck, and they had this big scare that there was a dead body and a wrap sheet on the side of the road. He actually got charged for it. Yeah, creating a panic. Yeah, it's been several years ago.
Well, did they think he did it on purpose?
No, I don't think so, but he did. I mean, it was he just. There's Facebook video out there about this. I think there might even be YouTube video about it. But yeah, you'll have to ask him about it. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just taking these supplies that he bought from another haunt to his haunt. And like I said, there were a bunch of them were like, you know how you walk through haunts and they have all these body bags and stuff hanging from the ceiling and you're running into them. Well, that's what it was. And there's one laying on the side of the road. And the police was there, had the lights on.
So he didn't realize it had fallen out of his
No, he
vehicle.
didn't know.
This wouldn't be Mr.
He
Hurst.
didn't know. Yeah, Dave Hurst. I just said that.
I didn't hear you. I was talking to Jared. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Kim, we're doing a show here.
Well, I
Kim,
was
yeah.
part of the peanut gallery. I was commenting
Well,
to the show going on here.
And here's the thing. You know what Jared says? I try to make her pay attention to her surroundings. That's really working well, Jared.
No, I don't. I'm on my own. Whatever I'm focused on is whatever I'm. That's why I get scared so easy. I'll be concentrating on something, and somehow I'll just walk right up behind
so-
me
so-
and just speak. It scares
How
me.
did you two negotiate the fog that we had this morning? Was that fun?
Oh, yeah. It was
I
fun.
went about 40, about 35,
Yeah.
40 all the way here.
Yeah, well, that's not
Jared, friend, it's coming, Rick. Let the bodies hit the floor. And I just said that about the bodies.
That's great. Poor old. They cited Dave for
Yeah.
creating a.
I think he lost his license for a while even.
Holy
His
always-
driver's
I
license?
think so. I'm always
Oh
paying
my
attention
God.
to your charm and good looks. Oh, she's talking to Jared, not to me.
Not to you.
I thought
Chris
someone was
Walls.
talking about me.
Chris Walls, I thought you were talking to me, Kim. Then I seen you said Jared. Todd Blocker, Xenia had an attempted murder that resulted in a suicide yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and we ought to send out some condolences too to the family of the little girl that got run over this weekend by a drunk driver in Washington Courthouse.
Yeah.
That's sad. I think she was maybe a freshman at Washington Courthouse schools, a freshman or an 8th grader. And that's sad, yeah, because the guy hit her, and then he was drunk, so he took off. But they called him.
That's even worse.
Yeah, he's looking at some time.
Lots.
He's looking at some time, most definitely. So
Lots.
we had really no agenda today. Professional sports is going on, but who cares? I mean, I'm almost getting to that point too.
I am.
I turned the Reds on the other day. It's 0-0. Of course, the first 5 minutes I'm watching, it's like the third inning. They're getting beat 2-0.
Dumb.
I just turned it. And
Don't you like to see the fans in the sports games?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I think the fans make the game.
A
They
lot
have
of
the
them.
Well, they
signs,
certainly-
they dress up, and
When you're talking television, that
well,
that-
yeah, and I just think there's I don't know. It's more of a spectator
don't they have
sport,
fake
you know?
clapping and fan noise that they play?
Do they? I don't know. You mean
I
like
thought,
sitcoms?
I
do?
thought they did. Yeah, I thought they had.
they are. They're pumping in
Are
fan
they?
noise and stuff.
Yeah, because there's no fans, obviously. And they've got those cardboard cutouts in the first few rows of some of the baseball stadiums, and they're going to do that, I think, in the NFL. But I don't think anyone cares
world
because
is nuts.
it doesn't take long before the game starts, and you see them wearing jerseys with political information
Black
on them.
Lives Matter.
People
and
don't.
all that.
People.
And a lot of the money that they're missing out on from the fans, from ticket sales, from concessions, beer sales, food
That's
sales.
minor compared to the advertising.
TV
Oh,
contracts too.
advertisement. Okay, yeah. Well, all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's minor compared.
But
to
I think the
that.
NFL is they're going to be in for a shock when they start playing and they realize nobody's going to be watching them. So
Well, the Bengals aren't having any fans for the home opener, and which I put on Facebook. I said, what makes a difference? They haven't had fans anyhow.
well, that's probably
Bengals.
true. Yeah. Well, I mean,
The Bungles.
I think that there still probably are fans of some teams that will watch, or maybe just football people in general that will watch.
ESPN.
The diehard people, I guess, will watch.
ESPN was showing high school football this weekend. They had St. X on Saturday, and then they had Pickerington North against Pickerington Central on Sunday.
Yeah, well,
they're showing.
people are wanting to still see sports.
Right.
And when you talk about, at least at the high school level, and for most,
They aren't allowed to politicize the sport, so at least that's a
you're not
nice
seeing
thing.
kneeling, you're not seeing political statements on their
Well, you
uniforms.
notice that the NFL
because
is
the
not
schools
gonna
won't allow it.
televise the Star
So
Spangled Banner this year.
Yeah, well, and
I'm okay with
I
that.
don't care whether they
I'm
televise.
actually okay with that.
So if they decide they don't want to televise the national anthem, they don't have to.
we just put it on the flag when the national anthem plays.
Yeah.
Not that these schools will, where we
Right.
live, in our area, the coaches wouldn't put up with the children.
Agreed.
Right.
No, you'd be quickly
You
off the
would
team.
quickly
Certainly
be
would.
kicked off the team if you decided to quote unquote make a stand, which
Yes.
would be some kind of.
Now I don't know that doesn't
Performance.
occur somewhere at the high school level, because it could.
It probably does, in these metropolitan areas, not in our area of the Midwest. But
Guy Durham says it looks like a video game with all these cardboard cutouts. Well, and if you watch the NBA, they got all these video screens back there where people are watching them, which is really odd too.
Yeah.
It's just,
So
I think the whole thing, they're trying to make it make sense, but it just doesn't.
They're trying to make it unusual and entertaining with the fans not being there. But first of all,
it just looks more unusual.
Yes, it does.
Like, just leave it empty.
Leave it
the
empty.
NBA
We know it's empty.
literally could be dead after this season.
yeah, they've shot themselves.
They
in the
may
foot.
be totally dead, because one
Well,
thing's
now
for certain.
they're like boycotting playing, but they still want to get paid or something.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they're playing, but they didn't
I
play
think-
a night or two over this
Yeah,
one guy's death. And the thing about the death of this guy, here's the thing: they do this stuff, and they don't look into the background. I mean, this guy that got killed wasn't the
was
poster
not
child.
a stand-up guy.
It's like
he
George
had like a
Floyd.
rap sheet, 20 pages
George
long.
Floyd was not a poster child
Right.
for
So-
black people.
So it takes away from your message, because
Yeah.
It
obviously
really detracts. It's like
it looks like
this
you're
was
supporting
not-
pedophiles, and you're supporting crazy drug users and everything else. And
Now,
Right with you on
do
that.
I agree with the way that George Floyd was treated? Absolutely not. And I screwed up last week, because here's another instance where this guy in Wisconsin gets killed. But here we go. If they'd had the darts is what I wanted to say last week, not the tasers. They'd had the tranquilizing darts. The guy's not dead right now. We're not having this conversation. He's probably in jail.
There's got to be a reason why that's never been used.
That's got to be.
There's gotta be
I'm
a
telling you, that's.
Because I can't ever think of it, being.
But that makes sense to me.
It does. Well, it makes too much sense,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
we might paralyze them. Well, that's better than killing them.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, so what if you can't walk anymore or whatever? You know
That's
what I mean?
better
You
than
can't use
killing
one
them.
leg or
Well,
whatever
here-
it is, your arm or
Well,
something.
but-
At least you're still
And
alive.
you made that choice to do something wrong.
To do something
Yeah, it's-
dumb
Yeah,
to
but
get you
the
in the
whole time he was
situation in the
walking
first
away.
place.
They don't want him to use pepper spray or tear gas. So if they don't want him to use pepper spray or tear gas,
How are you gonna
think-
get away with
think they're
using a
gonna
horse
want you to-
tranquilizer?
Yeah.
They're going to say the same thing about if you shot him with a dart.
Got some good comments here. Richard Keach, he says, if they disrespect our veterans or our flag by kneeling, to heck with them, overpaid people. And that's nice language for Richard. Christopher
He said
Walls,
that, or did you edit that for
I
content?
edited a little.
I thought so.
Christopher Walls,
Poetic license.
stopping the televised protests is a first step in stopping them. They thrive by the media attention
that's
they
true.
get. A tree falling in the woods and all that. Yep.
I
Todd
agree.
Walker, the cost of NFL Sunday ticket will cause a lot of sports bars not to show games.
Also
a lot
true.
of a lot of bars already are not going to show
No,
games
because
because
they don't like the.
just because of their attitude,
Right.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to like with the flag deal. I'm kind of glad that they're not going to televise the national anthem because I'm tired of the disrespect. You know.
Yeah, just
that's
rather
being
not
showed.
see
Yeah,
it.
you
Rather
know.
than
And it's a
That's
shame
right.
that we have to, that we have to do that. But at the same time, they didn't used to play the national anthem at sporting events. So this is something in recent years that they've started doing.
Well, and it's like I said before too. Keep their overpaid butts in the locker room if they can't show respect to the flag. Then when the national anthem's over, they can come out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way to take care of it. If people in the stands are disrespecting the flag or doing something, sometimes people legitimately, can't get up, so you got to overlook it.
Yeah, I mean, you got like an older person or maybe someone
Right.
with a health condition. Maybe they physically cannot get
Yeah.
up. So, like,
Well,
give them a break.
the real
like,
problem are the T-shirts, the sweatshirts with the political information.
statements that need to
because
say like
obviously,
F
once
the
again,
police or
if they-
whatever.
if-
It's not necessary.
If they can't
way.
kneel, they're gonna do something,
Something else.
And that's the problem. The problem is that if the
You can't silence
if
them.
if the NBA or the MLB, if they don't say you can't do that, and they have every right. I mean, a uniform is a uniform,
Right.
But let's go back to the fact that there was a gentleman named Tebow that used to kneel to pray, and they prevented him from
Yes.
kneeling
and
to
then
pray.
they said that was wrong.
Right. And yet they encourage the kneeling, for the national anthem. So
I just think it's.
I think most
so
people, what
absurd.
they're really fed up about with is the same thing with the corona and wearing masks, not wearing, is that there's no consistency in the
Right.
information that's
No
conveyed to
leadership.
us.
No leadership.
And so if you
Yes.
don't have, or if you see these, just like we said, where there'll be people
You
that are
can't
gathered
have it one
and no
way,
masks.
but not the other.
There again,
You can't have the
Hold on,
under
wait.
God, but you can have the black national anthem.
there again, though. No leaders. Who's our leader?
The president has.
DeWine and Trump.
But the president cannot order any state. See, that's the problem.
But he
the federal
can't order a
government does
private
not
organization, aka the NFL
Well, it
or the
doesn't matter.
NBA
Even
or
the
whatever,
state,
to do
the
things.
federal government has no control over what the states and their health departments do. So you can say, yes, he happens to be president when this is going on. And they do have federal guidelines. And a lot of it, Trump doesn't even follow what the federal, but he
They're
isn't the
private
person that actually
entities.
formulates that. See, that everybody
I
seems
mean,
to
he
think.
could shut them down, but aren't they businesses? Aren't they supposed to be allowed to operate how they want to?
Yeah, I think that the big thing, you have to look at the state governments and the people that operate the state governments to the whole corona thing, because there are states, that are wildly opposite each other as to how they've approached it.
Todd Blocker says our 5-month of direct TV and NFL ticket. Now this is for like a business entity. Okay, this isn't for your home. Is $10,000 with no refund if season ends.
Right.
Well, what you can do is give that $10,000 to Campus Nation and subscribe to us.
Yeah, we'll give you all the sports.
and we'll give you all
can-
the sports you would like.
Yeah, even if it starts.
Even
Tiddlywinks.
I tell you what, there's been a lot of good
Cornhole.
cornhole. There has
Yeah.
been a lot of good
Cornhole.
cornhole.
We'll give you tons of cornhole. We'll
Yeah.
play it right here at WZAA HQ.
Because you know who Rick is. Cornholio. Sorry,
You can
couldn't.
even come out and play, Todd.
There you go. That'd be fun.
We could even bring
We
a
need to talk about
cornhole
this if you're wanting to do that
championship
thing
to
in
you.
October.
I think we're talking in October about having
And
an
the
event out
spooktacular.
here at the studios, at the RV Center, and maybe bring in,
Who's all going to be involved in that?
Get spooky.
I mean, do we have any sponsor at all? Like, do
No.
I have any budget in this or not?
Any budget. You best make one.
McDonald's hamburgers. Well, I think what we're probably talking about is we'll have maybe some food vendors come in, some trucks. That would be the easiest way to feed people rather than trying to have the health department approve at the last minute someone coming in and setting up.
I got a food truck. Okay.
So
Okay, go ahead.
you could
What
have
do you-
I'm sure there'd probably be several different types of food trucks that would come in. And there's one that sits
Well, I
downtown
wouldn't-
in
I wouldn't
Washington.
do
He
that.
just
In
wants
Washington
to
Aloha
bring
Taco?
one in.
Yeah, the
It's
Aloha.
great.
Yeah, they sit down there.
I would do one.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't do 4 or 5 because then you're just cutting everybody no one wants to come, then they're
He
only
said
gonna
he's
buy-
got a food truck person.
It obviously depends on how many people are going to be here.
Well-
But if you are doing a car show
Yeah.
and DJing or whatever, so you've got music, you've got the cars. People can come out, they can see the different vintage automobiles and motorcycles and things like that. So there's entertainment and there's things to see, and then you have this tournament, which is a cornhole tournament that we can actually broadcast. We can broadcast, everything that's going on. Then I think that you got an event that would be fun for everybody, and it's
That's why we need to sit down sometime. Not
October's a
necessarily
good time.
today, but we
And I
definitely
think there's
need
a lot of area sponsors, both in Courthouse and probably in Clinton County and Highland
to- I
County.
don't need much of a budget.
That
I
would
just
be-
want to see if we have any budget. That's
Yeah.
all.
I mean, not right now,
I
but
didn't
we'll
know-
make one up.
No, I didn't know if you were. I didn't know if you were going to get the.
We'll probably talk to him. Yeah.
See if he a couple $100 would
Well, I
take
mean,
care of
I think
everything.
that they might even, depending. I assume we do it this like on a Saturday.
We already have the date.
If you've got the people that are coming in to see the cars and the motorcycles and to play cornhole and to have food,
Jared behind it.
you've
All
got,
right.
these RVs are going to be open. People can go in and they can look. If that's what they want to do, they can. It's a chance to at least let people see some of the RVs that are out here. So I would think they probably want to be a sponsor.
Chris Wall says, "I'll never force a client to do anything they aren't comfortable doing, and I will defend them with the tenacity of a rabid Saint Bernard Cujo."
Okay.
Not sure what that was in response to.
Yeah.
Probably whether or not being wearing masks. Whether you, as I might think
Oh,
that's what.
well,
he
we
was
know that
talking
we
about.
know that they've always worn masks in tattoo shops.
Yeah,
As far as tattooing, you got something there?
something
I've
growing.
never seen that.
Probably yeah.
I've
I
never
think
seen
that's the health department requires that anyway to be
Yeah.
masked when you're doing tattoos. But now people have to wear masks, obviously, to be tattooed at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
And I just, for the first time since you've been cutting my hair since February or March or whatever, I went in and actually had a haircut at
Which he's
Great
been
Clips.
complaining about.
Yeah. So
Where'd you go?
just a Great Clips there in the courthouse. And didn't have to wait or anything. So, but you have to wear a mask. And there were two girls in the salon at the time, and the girl that was cutting my hair, she was wearing a mask. There was another girl, she was doing her makeup, and
Not wearing a mask.
she wasn't wearing a mask. So, I don't think that. It's just like I said. You go
Well,
to
I take my mask off when I get my hair cut
Well,
because
you-
I got it. You got to.
you go to some. Well, they're not supposed to. You go to some of the.
He didn't take it off, so they didn't cut around his ears, and
well,
then
yeah,
he
that's
you
what I
complained
should
about
have
it.
taken it off.
Yeah. Well,
That's just so dumb.
well,
Yeah, I took mine off when I got mine cut. I finally have a ride worthy of bringing to a show. And Chris Wall says, no, they do not have to wear masks.
I didn't think so.
so your customers don't have to. Well, that's good.
No, and tattoo artist.
Oh, I thought they
I'm
did.
pretty sure. I've been in several tattoo shops. I've never seen them.
I've never had a tattoo done with someone wearing a mask, so I don't know what he's
No.
talking
Well, I've
about.
never had a tattoo
I
done.
figured
so-
since Corona was what you're talking about.
Oh no, I think he was meaning in general.
That's what I was saying. I figured
I
since
mean, he has no
Corona,
tattoos,
I
but
don't
he wants to
either.
Well,
talk
aren't
about
you-
getting
aren't you-
tattoos.
I thought that
You
the
wanna get a
mandate.
tattoo?
No, I thought that the mandate was that if you are in a building in Ohio, you have to have a mask.
Yeah,
on.
so you're talking about since Corona, not
Since
forever.
Corona.
Since
because-
Corona.
Not
Oh well, that
I was going to
perhaps.
say, because you don't
But
have
now,
any
but
tattoos.
now, Chris, you as a tattoo artist, don't you wear masks
No.
when you do tattoos? You don't? I know they
No.
wear gloves.
I think
Yes.
I'm
well,
sure of that because
Yes.
of the
Bodily
needles.
fluids.
I think
because,
maybe during
yeah,
Corona
don't be
they're supposed to
passing
wear masks.
fluids.
Oh,
to
no,
your
see, I
body.
thought,
Yeah.
pre-Corona.
I thought that
No.
they always wore
we
masks
do.
anyway.
Yeah, he just said we do now.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
that
right.
was post Corona.
All right.
So
Not
or,
before
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
They
not
weren't
pre-Corona.
wearing masks before that.
You should know. You did a video of him putting a tattoo on my
I don't.
arm.
I'd have to go back and look at it on
you
what is
go.
it? Keep Calm and Chaz on.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Still there. There it is. Just letting everybody know it hadn't disappeared or anything.
That's good.
What?
I said that's good.
All right, so we're in the
So,
last half
Kim,
an hour of the morning
what kind
show.
of a tattoo you gonna get?
I'm not.
I'd like to see a tattoo on you. I think you
No,
should get tattooed.
I'm not.
Do you have any tattoos?
I do not.
Great, that's
No.
good.
You should get one. You and
No.
Rick should get
There's no
matching
reason.
tattoos.
Yeah, right. There is no.
Not for
Kim,
myself.
you have two different socks on.
I do.
Okay.
She has another pair just like that at home.
I do.
Well, yeah, I bet she does. I like mine. Mine are similar too.
I do. There's like a purple in them though.
These are some of my new jeans.
I just noticed. Is that from
Gordman's.
Gordman's?
We got to go to the one in Courthouse
Well,
still.
yeah, because Gordman's now in Wilmington, I assume, is closed.
They're done.
So it's just the one in Courthouse.
Courthouses is still open for a little while, I think.
Maybe another
We
week
gotta
or
go.
two.
Shoot, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I ended up getting like about 6 pairs of pants.
I got to go see if they have
pants.
some more jeans at the one in Courthouse.
You should definitely.
The one
check
that
it out.
the pair that she bought, they're just a bit tight, so she's got to work out and work into them. Yeah.
He
But I mean-
felt the need to tell everyone.
But they,
that.
they do, well, I mean, they look good, but it's not because she's obviously overweight. But if she lost 5 more pounds, she'd be to her. Well, I mean, she's always wanted to get down to 150 pounds.
I don't
That
think
was-
Did you have to tell everyone how much I weigh?
I don't think
Well, I
you
didn't
should
tell
worry
you. I
about
said
it.
what you wanted to
I
get
think
down
She
you
to.
wants to be 150 pounds. If she lost 5 more pounds,
You're way 155.
Well,
Yeah.
not,
Figured-
hey,
I
our
deduced it.
audience doesn't
I
necessarily, they're not
deduced
that
it.
swift that they could figure
Yeah, but I just told him. But you
Do you need
actually
a shovel over there?
you actually need to bulk.
no, I need to tone.
Well, bulk, tone, same type of
No,
thing.
bulking
way.
is like a whole nother process, bro.
Well,
Do
you
you know
need-
anything about bodybuilding?
No,
No, Charlie's-
Can't you tell?
he's building the body.
Spent years building that one, didn't you?
Oh, and we're waiting. Amazon has a delivery to the studio today at some point. Sydney ordered her a new fitness watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Did you sell your old one?
No,
not
I
yet.
still have it over there. It's
Yeah.
on the charger. If you want to check it
How,
out
how
after
much?
this.
How much you want?
It
to
matches your
sell
eyes,
that?
Charlie.
I was selling it for 25, but I might be able to make
She
you a
make
better
you a
deal.
special
$5?
deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
She make you a
What's wrong
special
with it?
deal.
Nothing's
Nothing.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
that
don't need it
she's-
anymore.
Is it pink?
She's
No, it's blue.
It's blue. Matches your eyes. Pink eyes.
No, it's blue.
You have the Corona.
Corona eyes.
Isn't that one of the things?
My new one's olive with a pink face.
So
Yeah.
Is this an Apple Watch or what is it?
No.
No. It looks like an Apple Watch though.
Very similar.
Like a Fitbit or
It's a Fitbit.
a
Yeah.
Fitbit?
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, so she was
Rick and
bugging.
Sydney have stuff for sale
She
too. out
she
here.
was bugging me. Well, we've got all kinds of furniture. We've got
You do have lots
yeah.
of
So you go on the marketplace on Facebook, you'll see all the stuff, and usually you
They're
can
under my
recognize it.
name, Sydney Alexis Phillips.
You can recognize because there's a green screen background behind the which makes them stand out. But
the
we
old
do-
one's a Garmin.
yeah.
Chris Walls, 155.
What? I know. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Holy
I'm still
crap.
chunky.
How tall?
Just,
How
oh my
tall
god.
are you,
Holy
Sydney?
crap.
I'm 5'9". Okay, give me a break.
Sydney is 5'9", so that
I think
it's-
he's razzing
It is
you.
well distributed.
Richard Keach says all the mask. Let's see, all this mask. I went to a restaurant. A guy comes up to me with a mask on. Didn't know rather is to give him my order or a wallet.
That's exactly right. You know, I haven't heard hardly anything about like gas stations or extra robberies with all this mask and stuff. So if it's been going on, it sure has been.
I
kept
don't think
hush
they
hush.
publicize it because it
Yeah.
would sound bad.
Would it not make sense?
probably
though,
scare
that, I mean,
people.
with your face covered in a store, you could just go and do whatever you want
Well,
to do.
as
It's
far
a
as
carte blanche.
yes, even as far as what you would think, we're being tracked, and so you've got all this IDing, with cameras. And it's probably a lot more difficult when you're wearing a mask and you've got the bottom half of your face covered up, because all you can go on are the eyes.
eyes.
Yeah. Although I think that a lot of people look a lot better with the mask on.
Agree.
Some people are
There's a few people I can think about.
mask fishing.
No comment.
Mask fishing.
Heat waves here.
It's like catfishing.
Oh my
but-
gosh! You mean like someone make a fake profile like on the internet?
No, but like
Or-
you can only see their face with the
Yeah,
mask on.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
what I mean. So they
yeah.
could look like
Right.
oh,
So you take the mask off, you have no teeth, or you've got
Right.
meth
meth
teeth.
mouth. Yeah.
Cinderella.
Chris Wall says 155. That's nothing. Take some of my 300.
I'm gonna pass.
Heat wave is here. Hello, everyone.
Heat
How you doing, Heat wave?
So is heat wave off this week?
Heat waves.
But if
always
you'd
off.
like to come to my yoga class, I will invite you cordially.
You mean to do
are we
yoga
gonna
with
have a
you?
live show out here?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get
When?
this set up.
Oh,
well,
that'd
she's
be
she's
fun.
got her new watch now, so
That,
she's
that would be
Well,
funny.
it's coming.
with
But
Chris
if you would
Walls
like
and
to be part of my
me.
yoga class,
Kim wants in.
Yeah, I'll
Rachel
do it.
wants in.
I'll watch. I have to operate the camera.
You'll laugh. Here's the thing: we'll be all wallowing around on the floor, and Rick will be over there going.
I won't know whether. Yeah, I'll say,
He'll be the peanut gallery.
we had this beaching. I had to push everybody back
Oh,
into the
see,
ocean.
it's already started. It's already started.
Rick was watching me and my friends do yoga the other day.
Well, I mean, these
Eating
women.
popcorn with his tongue
It's
out.
funny because these women are, they all work out because most of them are just stay-at-home moms, or they don't have they're not working, or if they're working from home. So they get kind of bored. They need things to do, and what a better time than that to actually start working out. You're at home anyway, so. And
there you are with your full support.
yeah, really, I have not actually, I'll be honest, I've not seen these women on her phone, but I've heard them, and they make all kinds of weird noises. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we breathe while we work out. Oh my
Well,
gosh,
there's all
it's so
kind, I mean,
strange.
yeah, and then you got all the background noises.
Do-
Like I said, there's dogs barking, there's babies crying, there's
Oh, people have lives going on in the background.
There's gotta be a
there's
porn
all
somewhere.
kinds of stuff.
do,
yeah.
do you like these sounds they make?
Well, some of them are kind of bizarre. Some
be a
of them are
porn somewhere.
interesting.
That's what I just said. You like these sounds they make? They make.
We haven't talked about sex dolls lately.
Anyway, let's not go there.
Yeah, let's pass on that. Let's pass.
Um,
I thought it was interesting last night, though, at this Christian concert. They had
Now, how
a.
do we segue
This was a
into
Christian
Well,
concert.
Christian concert after sex doll?
Well,
At a
this
flea
I
market.
gotta
because,
hear.
because I thought that this really wasn't very Christian-like. That's why.
I'm going to pick up my anxiety medication after this show.
They had a 50-50.
Well,
Yeah. All the churches put on
Catholic
bingo.
has
that's true.
bingo. I mean,
Catholic,
Bay 17.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
J55.
It's just kind of weird.
the Catholics they always make fun of the Catholics because of the beer drinking and the bingo and
yeah.
you know
You can
the-
gamble, drink, do
you got a
everything, still go
couple
tell
vices
somebody
going
about
on
it.
there at the same time. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Magi Jake,
Me
we're
neither.
ready for you. Any
Wait,
day
you
you
can
want to come
sin?
in.
You just gotta
15th, that's fine.
apologize?
You just gotta tell
Sign
somebody
me
about
up.
it. That's right. You just gotta tell somebody. Do whatever you want, but you gotta confess. That's right.
Where do I
just thought
sign
it was
up for
odd.
this?
I just thought it was odd. That's all.
Well, I mean,
It sounds
I'm
like
sure
a
there's
great
probably a lot of
program.
It
a lot of
does.
Christian
I'm not gonna
a lot of
lie.
Christian
Great
people are
program.
down here at the
Did I buy a
gambling
ticket?
casino here.
Did I buy a
Did you
ticket?
buy
Well,
a
of course
ticket?
you did. Charlie
Yeah.
always buys
Did you
a ticket.
win?
No.
Oh.
I was 2 numbers
So was it
off.
just one ticket that you bought?
No, I did the 6 for 5 because the concert was free. So I felt like this was a good way for me to give back a little bit.
Okay.
You know, Charlie,
$5?
found any more lotion sales? No, not this week. You had to bring that up, didn't you? We almost made it to
Ordinance
10
is
o'clock.
open in Washington Courthouse this
We
week
almost
still.
made
So
it
you
open
can
to-
go
over to
and
10
check
o'clock.
it out if you're interested.
Christian isn't Christian like anymore. Well, that's true too.
Very.
I
That's
don't
true,
know because
too.
I walk that Jew path, so we don't apologize for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine.
I can attest to that. Yeah.
Shalom.
Let's all worship the Lord and make sure you get your 50-50 raffle ticket.
Right.
That's true. I mean, it was just kind of odd. That's all. That's
Well,
all. I just thought it was odd.
It goes for a good cause.
Yeah, and it did go for a good cause. It went back to the bands, because the bands.
So there were live bands there?
3 and no, hardly anybody had masks on. But I will say this: that crowd up there, they did keep
Distance.
fairly socially distanced. Yeah, I mean, if they sat in pods.
I saw where
It was in a park. They were spread out.
Publix is a big grocery store
Yeah.
chain south, and they've started.
They've ended the one-way aisles.
Yeah, they've taken the stickers off the floors for the one-way aisles, so they're starting.
We have those in school.
There's
too.
the one you have the stickers about social, reminding people.
That, and to walk on the right. They got big arrows where to walk.
So do you
at.
get expelled if you don't obey the
They're
stickers?
just there for guidance.
Uh-huh.
Christians aren't
Suggestions.
Christian if they don't follow God's word. Magi Jake's going to be here on the 15th. He's
So
going to do a little
doesn't
magic
the Bible
show.
say that magic is not real and unchristian-like?
I believe so.
But there is a lot of magic in the
But
Bible.
that's a loophole for him, or no? It's
No,
just a
no,
fallacy.
Magi Jake.
Or...
He's in a magic Christian organization, so.
See, they've got organizations for everything, Sydney.
I don't know. Yeah, the way I look at it, if you're using the magic to promote God's word, I'd say that would be a good thing.
So does he do
Are you
his
speaking in
spells in?
Wiccan?
He does his
Are you-
spells in Hebrew.
No, he's real. He's a Christian.
Is that what we're saying?
What?
He does his spells in Hebrew.
No.
Oh,
spells. He don't do spells.
because that
he
would be
performs
dope.
like
He
magic.
That would
performs
be really
tricks, magic tricks.
dope.
That's
Sleight
what I
of
said.
hand,
It's like Wiccan,
you know.
or you're like, well, yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wiccan's
no.
great. I'm a pagan though, so I would say
You're
that.
pagan.
I am. Does that surprise you?
Charlie-
There's no voodoo dolls.
Doesn't Charlie have a
no
pagan
voodoo
in his house?
I do.
No
My
Ouija
wife-
boards.
No
my
way.
wife claims to be.
No
one.
way.
Oh, I tell you something else we did this week. I completely forgot about.
You
it
burn
now.
sage.
I do.
My wife
smudge.
does. Yeah. My wife.
You
does.
smudge?
Yes.
Okay.
We went and saw the Metallica concert out at Cedar Creek Flea Market.
So you
which was
balanced it
pretty
out
neat.
with a Christian concert.
I'm a music person. I taught music. I like music.
I love
so
music.
I don't care if it's Christian, if it's hard rock, if it's jazz, if it's, even if it's, classical music. I like music. I mean, there's just something about it. I've always liked it. But it was kind of neat because Metallica, they did this video, to put out to drive-ins, and they were outside. I think they were in Colorado, but I'm not real sure of that. It's real pretty scenery. They're out in like a mountain area, and
Was it Red Rock?
No, it wasn't like.
Well,
that.
there's outside of Denver. There's
the Red Rock
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
yeah,
but
yeah.
no,
And I've actually seen Earth, Wind, and Fire at that
Really?
amphitheater when I lived in
wow.
Denver.
That's cool.
And of course, two of them are actually from the Denver area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, it was just
Red
it was a
Rocks.
neat deal, and they had a nice crowd. They probably had about 50 cars out there. It wasn't the size of the Garth Brooks, but they still had about 50 cars out there. And Cedar Creek, by the way, they're getting more vendors in. They've cleared out some aisles, and
I think
they
you
got some
bought some of
deals
that,
going
didn't you,
on.
Charlie?
Huh?
You bought some of that stuff from the
I bought
flea market.
part of a booth, just part of it, not very
Got
much.
some
of
lamps
it.
still?
Yep. Yeah, but I've already made my money on them, so I'm
Yeah.
happy about that. But our buddy Andrew Mackin's got a booth now out at Cedar Creek Flea Market starting this weekend. And
Is this like a permanent
Mike
thing?
Bosher, yeah, it's inside. I don't know how permanent, but they'll have it for a while. I would
Mm-hmm.
say, probably a couple months, if not longer.
Bossier and my dad used to have flea market set up right over here, 2 doors down from here.
Yep.
Yeah, the other building.
I can see, what's it say? I can see Coach boxing. Not boxing anybody. Magic still isn't against Christianity. Dark magic, like satanic magic, is against the Bible. Tricks, illusions aren't.
So, are you
the
of the
Magi
dark
Jake.
magic?
The occult, no.
I guess he's
Yeah, it's definitely dark.
him.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
definitely not
Questionable.
Definitely dark.
Like I'm a firm believer, like you don't wish bad on people because if that happens, then it's going to come back to you 3 times as bad.
So have you
That
ever
kind of
stuck
stuff.
pins in a doll?
That's voodoo.
That's voodoo, but yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
Todd Blocker replying to Richard Keach, the notorious Chaz.
Did you ever leave a horse head on anyone's?
No, nothing
No,
like
no
that.
chicken. What are chicken claws, wings, whatever? Chicken.
Beaks, whatever. No bones.
How do you
no.
know so much about this?
Voodoo's
Have you
very
been hanging out with
interesting.
Rachel?
I watch a lot of
interesting.
movies.
It's huge in New Orleans, Louisiana. You know,
Oh, yeah.
voodoo's
Nolans.
There's another thing. The movie theaters are back open. Wilmington's movie theaters back open.
Oh, it is open.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was one.
Is it open? Because I was wondering when
There
you
was-
were still not going to take me to a movie.
Well, there was one movie theater chain that said they weren't opening.
No, Wilmington's open.
Wilmington.
And we went and saw that crazy movie. I can't think of the name of it. It's about the car. What do they call that?
Herbie.
No, when you get in, like road rage. It's a road rage movie.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
That
Exciting.
sounds safe.
Well, it's been advertised all over, and I've seen the thing, and I can't.
We don't have cable.
Unhinged. Unhinged.
okay.
I tell you what.
Story of
the
my life.
scary thing about Unhinged.
Sounds like a movie about a
Well,
woman.
It does.
No, it's not. It's not. It's about a guy, Russell Crowe.
Oh, okay.
And Russell Crowe probably put on 50 or 60 pounds to play this part. Unhinged, I'm going to tell you what, the scary part about Unhinged is I think a lot of people could get to the point that this guy does.
You mean with everything that's going on?
Where he just goes off the handle. I mean, his life has hit such a pit that, and maybe I shouldn't say, I'm doing some stuff to get myself in trouble today. But I don't know. I'd say some people
panic.
Some people I think have those lists, that if you only got so long to live, there might be a few people you may take out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It's like a bucket list.
Do you have a list like that?
Kick the bucket list.
I have a list like that. Do you have a list like that?
Yeah, I don't have a list like that.
I don't tell
like
people
that.
my secrets.
Yeah, but I imagine Sydney does have a list because she's just that type of.
Well,
I don't write
personality.
things like that down.
here's.
Yeah, I don't have a list written down.
Yeah, no, I didn't say. I
You don't want any
say,
proof anywhere in case
I
it
didn't
gets
say written
exposed.
down. Well, that's kind of where this cat's at. I mean, the movie. I'll just give you this. The movie starts out. He's pouring gas in his ex-wife's house. And I think her new man's there and her son's there. And let's just put it doesn't end well for the wife and the new boyfriend and the son. And that's within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
So
and
it's a succession of.
It gets worse after that. Yeah. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people out there that will call them lit fuses. They're just, they're
well, and that's what I'm thinking. And that's what I'm thinking too when I say, about the militias. I think some of those people are going to be unhinged, and I think they're going to. It's something big.
Well,
it's
huge.
I guess
something big.
The only thing I would say is this: that I think most people, at least most people that typically own guns and they go to shooting ranges and they practice and things like that. I don't think that it's never done to be proactive to go out and actually start shooting people.
Okay. It's not done proactively to actively go out and shoot people. It's done proactively to practice your target practice. It is done proactively because you have to be good at shooting a target.
I think that it's done. A lot of people look at
and
it
for
as a way to
safety
defend
reasons.
themselves. But Charlie, what you're saying is you think that there might be incidents which get some of these people riled up enough that they go out and they actually.
I think it's already happened.
Oh, yeah.
And it won't be so much that they actually go out and start shooting. They will go out and put themselves in a position where they can shoot.
Got a whole bunch of comments here. Richard Keach, Kim is beyond dark. Chris Walls, Kim, you messed up telling Rick you're pagan. Magi Jake, with the tricks I do tricks with Bible messages.
I would think that would be evident.
Nothing spooky. God does the miracles. I do the tricks. Todd Blocker, free Trump T-shirts for the first 200. Where? Let's go. Where at, brother? Don't be putting stuff on there like that.
Todd,
Not coming through.
Are they wet?
Christopher Walls, remember the movie Falling Down? Is that the one with Michael Douglas?
Yeah, that's right. That had Michael Douglas in it.
I can totally see
he had the horn-rimmed
like
glasses on, or the ugly-looking glasses.
That's a mild version of Unhinged. Jackie Tolliver Sneeder is watching. How you doing, Jackie? Phil Hoskins. I am on your list because I didn't buy life insurance from you. Please forgive me. That's right, brother. That's right. No, you're not on my list. No, I don't sell it anymore. You'd say you wore me out. I only talked to you half a dozen times, and you even said it's a great deal, and still nothing.
But now, do you still get some residuals? Don't you?
I don't think so. No, I don't. Get anything. No, I'm done with it. I'm stick a fork in me.
You still have your sign in front of your business.
Yeah,
Well, he already bought the sign.
The sign is up there because
you don't have to give it back.
It's a nice sign.
I am still associated with Modern Woman. I'm supposed to be running their social events for them in Clinton County, in Wilmington and Sabina.
The Corona has put a.
But yeah, I haven't been able to do anything because of the Corona. So I am still associated with them. And
so what kind of social events do they have?
Well, like they'll have events where, like, I was working with Generations to the cruise in. If you come to the cruise in that night, you get $2 off your meal. Oh. And that goes for anybody can come as a member or a guest. Do you have to listen
for an insurance pitch?
Nope, nothing like that at all. Just come and eat.
It's like buying a condo?
Nope, just come and eat. Or you could get maybe $4 or $5 off. Sometimes they would give tickets money off to go see like the Dayton Dragons or
But
give free
now,
tickets.
Is that some type of a fraternal
Yeah,
organization?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did buy lunch once. That's true. Let's do it again. I'll buy. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine.
Always
that's
good
fine.
when you buy.
And I'm always good.
Now, does
for
that
free
extend
food.
to all of us?
But Phil, we had on. Phil,
He's been on the show
He's
before.
been on the show. You
Yeah.
ought to come down, Phil, and do the show one more time.
Yeah, he's
And then we could just go across the
he's really
Denny's to
funny,
have
too.
people in there. Phil's a good guy. I like Phil.
Yeah.
And Phil's situation there, and not getting into any detail, his situation there is a very good situation he's in, but it's a little more complicated than the average bear. So I'll just leave it at that. So I am not upset with anybody. Phil, to be honest with you, I would be upset if you've never bought any to this day and something happened to you. I would feel kind of bad, but then I'd think, well, it was your choice.
especially since you're on his bucket list.
Well, no, he's not. But I have had that happen where I've tried to sell life insurance to people and they have since passed.
Right.
And you feel bad because, in my case, I didn't feel too bad because I did give them the opportunity. They turned me down, But that is tough as a life insurance. That's the bad side of life insurance salesman is, when someone does actually die. And it's not the paying of it. It's just all the grief and remorse and everything that goes along with it. So Phil says, yeah, he'll buy for everybody.
He would, I know.
McDonald's dollar menu.
There you go. That works.
No,
Hey, you can get those twofers.
He didn't say that. I'm just teasing. Phil's a very successful guy. We'll just leave it at that. He's a very successful guy, and he has right now he has a bug business.
So he's the one that put the bugs there at
He's
the
the
Dean's
exterminator.
apartment complex.
Yeah. He's an exterminator, and he's more, I think, in the Lebanon, Waynesville.
So there's a lot
Beaver
of bugs out there.
Creek,
Is that what we're saying?
Bellbrook area.
Now, are these bugs or are these like bugs that are planted to spy?
I was
bugs.
spy bugs.
No, he's a bug guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Todd Blocker says he's in too to Phil for free lunch. That's like we had a free car show the other day at Family Farm and Home here in Washington Courthouse. And it's funny. There's guys there I hadn't seen in years. I called them out over the mic too. Hey, you tell it's a free car show. Pickles here. You tell it's a free car show. This guy's here. Oh, needless to say, I got flipped off numerous times that day. But I got them. And they weren't on my list either.
So are there any spells you want to cast before we shove off?
Oh, you
I am not in. No. I burn sage and some candles, and I think some rocks have some stuff.
Some
I'm not one-
rocks?
I'm
You
not-
burn rocks? How do you burn
No,
rocks?
keep them.
You just keep the rocks.
You just keep them. Like
You
amethyst
keep them?
is good.
Oh, is
Well,
You know, white opal.
Your daughter's like queen of crystals,
so well, crystals.
healing crystals,
If-
and like
if you-
weird rocks
yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
The probably the center of the crystal universe in the U.S. is Sedona, Arizona. They a lot of
So you want to talk about weird
existentialists
stuff,
and
and your
crystal-loving
daughter's like the
people.
queen of weird
yeah.
stuff.
She's a hippie.
She had dreadlocks at one time.
Yeah, well, that was when she was younger. This was Annetta. Annetta's in Arizona.
One of the bands I saw last night, a couple of those guys had dreadlocks. I was one of them I called over because he was standing close to us. I said, dude, what is up? Dreadlocks, and you got all this gray hair going through it. He goes, yeah, I'm getting old. I'm 34.
Well, I mean, there are people that have the long hippie hair still, and they're in they're like my age, like Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's got the hippie look. I guess that's the surfer look or something. He thinks.
Well, these guys had a lot of hair. Yeah, because that's part of their.
But see,
act,
the
it was
problem.
like swinging their
I know, but
head
the
and
problem with
hair.
dreadlocks. I mean, your hair has to remain very dirty.
No, you can wash them.
Can you?
Oh yeah, you can wash them. But I guess to get them out, I've heard you have to cut your hair. to get them
You'd
out.
almost have to go bald, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I would think so. Even if you had like mane and tail detangler to even work through that, like a cow tail or a horse tail or something, I wouldn't even. Oh my. Yeah,
Daryl Andrew Heater says, "Have a good day, everybody." Rick Tom
hey,
Blocker says, "Rick Phillips, you interested in covering a rally Saturday? What rally?"
Oh,
Yeah.
there is one in Xenia for Trump.
Is there?
No, is there?
Probably not because we have games on Friday.
No, Saturday.
No, Saturday.
I know, but I'm going to be tired.
Yeah, well, a lot of
You
it's
can
going to
stay
I'm
and
already
stay. You can-
pre-annoyed.
You can come home,
What
stay
time?
on the
What
couch.
time's the rally?
Time's rally.
10 o'clock.
Oh, that's too early.
Leave it to Kim to collect
the
rocks.
equipment's going to have to be
Richard
cleaned and
Keach
stuff
says.
before we're going to get home at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to have time to clean the equipment and get ready to go by the morning.
Yeah, that would probably be too. I mean,
People don't realize how much of a production
Sydney says
this is.
no.
it's gonna be particularly bad because we're doing 3 live games this week. I mean, if we can pull it off, but we'll be doing one at East Clinton. We'll be doing one.
Who's East Clinton play this week?
I don't know. Well, I don't even know if we're doing that game, but we're doing
Well, we're not
Batavia
doing
and
it.
Wilmington.
Yeah.
We're doing Clinton Massey in
One other.
Goshen.
Yeah,
and possibly East Clinton.
it is a conference game, so I don't know.
versus whoever the heck
Fayetteville?
they're playing.
No, it's. I think this team was one of the better teams in the small school division of the SBAAC, but I don't remember. But we will try to accommodate them. So.
Oh, all right. Anybody else have any comments? 10 till noon at the courthouse, he said.
Well, that's a little late.
Lynn Lawhun, how you doing,
10 till
Lynn?
noon.
10 till noon.
Oh no, it's 10 till noon.
I'd be
I was
interested,
thinking.
but like I said, I'm going to be at a biker party.
Yeah, well, the last time you said you were going to come to a rally, you didn't.
I
You
did
remember?
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, life happened.
He remembered.
Oh, I remember too.
He
Yeah,
remembered.
she's on my list.
Oh.
We didn't go either because you didn't go. So, yeah. Well, we had other things. What was going on?
I don't know.
Life of the party there.
Yeah.
Are you getting, what's wrong? You get a little frustrated here? Hey, you got any appointments today, or when's your next appointment?
She's just
I need
waiting
to go
for her
pick
watch.
up my anxiety medication after I get my watch.
Well, we might. I don't know.
No, we are. I'm having anxiety.
Sounds like you need to
You
get
know,
away.
we move away from Wilmington, and we spend more time in Wilmington now than we did when we lived in Wilmington.
That is completely inaccurate.
How does that work? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Lynn says, have a blessed day, you all.
Yeah,
Chris
you too.
Walls, I'm out. You guys
See you,
have
Chris.
a wonderful
Bye,
day.
Chris.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about 10. We're about ready to roll, too. Everybody have a great weekend. It's Labor Day weekend.
Stay safe.
Selling
Yes.
a painting
You
at
guys-
4 o'clock.
Don't speed.
Do you guys want to maybe have a yard sale on Labor Day?
Oh, that
Monday?
might be.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, because we're not going to be doing anything
It's fun
else.
having to pray.
Hey, you know what we'll do?
doubt it.
We
No.
ought to get a little grill and be sitting out there and grilling out. And
We have a little grill.
We could do that.
That's right. But I'm talking about
I-
a charcoal
I don't know
grill.
if we'll be
A
back by
charcoal
Monday.
grill
No,
would
we
be
have a
better
gas
The biker
grill,
because
excuse me.
we've got a propane
Not
grill.
good enough.
You know,
for
it's
that.
a
I
coal
know,
grill.
I know. I just don't know if we're spending the whole weekend there or if we're in Sicko.
But see, if
You can still just come up.
you know, if you were cooking,
You're not bringing
hamburgers
it
and
on
hot
Monday.
dogs and things like that, and you could probably make some money off the food.
I have
we
hamburgers
can't.
and hot dogs.
And there's no health department going to be there.
We're not going. If you guys want to come up and cook for us, I'll buy a hamburger from you. But anyhow,
I mean, we don't have to sell them. We can just eat them. Anyway, it's time to go.
Oh,
so yeah. But
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
and if we have a yard sale, I'll post it, and it'll be up at my office, and that will be Monday. Excuse me.
That's
Monday.
right. Monday, Labor Day.
Monday.
All right.
I
so
don't know why. I was
everybody
gonna
have a
say
good
Sunday.
holiday.
Yep.
We'll be
Have a
back
good one.
next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
This is WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. This was the Morning Zoo. Please enjoy the 50s and 60s music that is coming back on the
And
station now.
Sydney, go get some medicine.
I will do that.